draft screen pops up, and he's the first name that we see on our left side, Pagu. Pagu is a roamer that's played for S2G recently in the Turkish league, but he's a player that's been around the world, Scared. He's been at the MSC, he's been at the M Series, he's been there in MPLs, he's been there playing for Turkey, and now he's here gracing his presence in the European tournament scene for the EMC. And guess what? He came in with, if you're a roamer of the caliber of Pagu, you just come in and be like, you get your pick of the lot, right? You come in and like, who do you want to play? Because everyone's going to flock to you. And like, I want to play with the Wicked. That's what they said. They teamed up. And of course, look at their lineup. You're looking at former players from MPLs, from MSCs and M Series. You got Orange Bob, who's played for Falcons before. Of course, you got Macaron as well, that's played in the EECA scene. Of course, Vlados QT is not their usual mid laner. It is Sensei, who has played in the EECA region, but here is showing us that in game number 1 that he can pull up with the big boys as well. And of course, going against Entity is going to be Pelamatronio, Laito, Enzo, Noel, and Tiso. Scared. I know I've been rambling on for a while, but that is the duo, the Pagu Wicked duo that we need to be watching out for.
I 100% agree, right? I mean, I still remember a lot of people out there, even in the chats, they wanted to see this matchup of Wicked against Pelmetronio. But I really want to emphasize on the fact that it's not really going to be an individual 1v1 between them. Pagu will always be there to support Wicked. And we have seen time and time again, MINEVRA Fury, they don't really run in with one single straightforward idea of what they want to do. They always have layering behind it. If one of the steps fail, they have the second one. If that fails, they've got the third one. If all of that fail, they've got Wicked, who always stays alive and then eventually carries in that mid to late game. So that is one of the big, win condition for MINEVRA Fury's side, which Entity will need to take care of. They need to find certain counters for that. But since we're already on that topic, right, we're talking about those counters, we can clearly see a Farsa being banned out in the first phase for MINEVRA Fury. That leaves Zushin open as well. That also leaves Kimi open. Now, you banned out the Farsa. There's no solid counter of the Kimi. I'm pretty sure they can try and prioritize that.
Yeah, I think the Farsa taken off. Kimi is the one that's available right now. Of course, the Bakshia is not there, but don't forget there's the YSS also. The Yi Sun Shin in the hands of Macaron can be an absolute threat. And this current meta, you want to rock that triple marksman in your composition, at least 2. But hey, you still have the Jushin that can work wonders. The Jushin can be played in the form of a support, in the form of a carry as well at the same time. So here, Jushin being picked up by MINEVRA Fury means that they want to play around the composition a little bit more.
I just wanted to mention as well the same thing, that even yesterday when they had the option between choosing Kimi and the Zushin, they always went for the Zushin first. And when they were playing against the lineup of New Era as well, we saw the matchup in the mid lane, right? Baby DJ up against Sensei out here. And Sensei was the one who was actually having that big advantage in that mid lane. He was the one who was winning it out. He was always zoning the Kimi off, and he had the priority in clearing out those waves. So I think so again. Pretty solid pick for the first one though, but I like the answer from ET. Locking in the Eastern Shin, locking in the Phobias. They're really revealing their draft cards. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, there are 2 priority picks that you cannot leave up on.
Hey man, it's not just the fact that it's a priority pick, not just the fact that they're showing their cards, it's just the fact that they're that confident in what they want to go for.
Exactly.
So they get themselves the Yi Sun Shin in the jungle, they rock that Phobius in the EXP lane, and now they know what they're cooking, and so do MINEVRA Fury. But here MINEVRA Fury really need to prioritize and be like, okay, we know for a fact that their next pick is probably going to be Kimi, and then they're going to go and form that triple marksman lineup. And now MINEVRA Fury are caught off in a slight bit of a predicament over here. So what are they going to go with, knowing that that's going to be a problem? Uranus is not going to be present. You don't have the extra heal that comes out from Matilda. Yes, maybe a Gatot would work wonders over here. You can always target the back line and create the separation. But then again, you need a playmaker in the form of maybe a Batang. You have the Lapu Lapu that's open. But guess what? They deny the Kimi. They deny the double triple marksman composition. And they get themselves the hand on this Lancelot that we just saw Uzin put an absolute spectacular display and getting a 3-0 victory over Reign. So hey, is Lancelot the new meta over here? Am I missing on something? I know he got a buff, but you got to be really good with that hero.
Yesterday, I was just thinking about the same thing. Throughout the quarterfinals, Lancelot had one of the poorest win rates out there. It was only MINEVRA Fury that actually made it work again. And this time around, we saw Memento Mori as well doing wonders with that one hero. I've been saying that for a long time now, since he's basically received the buff that Lancelot is one of the priority picks out there in jungle. He just deletes the squishy heroes instantly. So and you don't really need to make a full-fledged damage item build, right? You just go for the Vorax, go for the Endless Battle. That's enough for you. You can burst down the backline instantly if they don't have the Wind of Nature. So, but now being picked up early on, Kimi being denied as well. I think so. It's about time you're going to see the Moscow ban as well as the Erythial ban, so that Kimi can actually have an easy time in the laning phase, since the 1-1 has also been taken care of. That would eventually mean that ET will be forced to pick something along the lines of a Granger in that goal. So you're trying to choke that pool down too, and then you can pick your roam in a certain manner that actually counters the Granger, which can try and go for an early anti-Curious build too. So if MINEVRA Fury are actually looking that far forward, I think so they're already controlling a good part of the draft.
Yeah, they are kind of trying to control the second bar. That they did throw a wild card in by taking away the Kimi themselves, and now they're controlling the second half of the draft for sure, because you're kind of throwing a wrench in the plans of Entity. But knowing that there's a Zetian still available, they go for it. They take out the Lapu Lapu, trying to prevent the dive possibility onto the Zetian, onto the Yisun Shin. And here you're really leaving Minerva Fury a slight bit of a predicament. What are you going to take out? You got to take out a Moskov at this point in the gold lane, and that is what they remove indeed, because you need to choke out that gold lane hero pool. And over here, Entity, what can they really look for? Because jungler's already been taken away, the mid laner and the gold laner, and you want to make sure your gold laner has a good time. So maybe an Irrital is what they're going for, unless Minerva Fury ban it out. But in the EXP lane, you're looking at it take a lot more. Of course, I was gonna say the Badang is one of the only options that's kind of left to make plays, and Minerva Fury have known to pick it up time and again, but they're instant with that. And if I'm not wrong, if Wicked knows what he's in for, he definitely wants to take out that Irrital in this game. He shouldn't be going against an Irrital.
Exactly. I think that is a straightforward counter to Kimi in the gold lane as well. So it's either an Erythiel or it's going to be a Granger. I don't see anyone in between that, since everything else is technically locked in already for the other side now. But again, it falls down to the same thing. What are you going to pick in that roam and EXP position now? Because Lapu has been banned out, Badang banned out, Kadot Kacha banned out as well. Phoveus has been picked up on the other side. Now, we did see a Terisla being picked up yesterday in the quarterfinals, but it did not really work out that well against the lineup, right? So you really are now looking forward to being just focused a bit more on that R-Lot, which can be used as a flex for either of those lanes. So that's going to be a good thing too. But who are you going to pair it up with? That's the main question.
Yeah, who are you going to pair it up with at this point? I agree, right? But I still think like Entity here, they have themselves a solid, they've cooked themselves something of a solid lineup so far, right? They have a lot of room to play around with. They have a lot of chain CC ability, and not chain CC, soft counters, like soft CCs, not exactly hard crowd controls, a soft crowd control, a little bit of a push here and there, and Zetian with the playmaking ability using the Fury of the Phoenix. I still think like Irrital is going to be a great hero that they need to get and lock down, and then ask the question towards Minerva Fury, like, what are you going to pick up? But hey, they leave that goal lane until the end, knowing that Pelemetronio wants the space, needs a lot of advantage. They go for a Khalid in the roam position, never seen before here in the EMC so far. But if you talk about aggression, they're bringing in the heat.
I absolutely like this pick as well. You're going to have the priority in those rotations too. The river control will be there to try and counter the Zushin on the other side. As again, you already have the Zushin locked in. Now it's all again falling on the other side. It's an alert, but what about that? Hold on. They just pick up the glue into the Hilda. Interesting, but I think so they're putting a lot of their cards in this early to mid-game basket, man.
I agree. It's a lot of early and mid-game pressure, right? Especially against the Yisun Shin. They're looking this Hilda to try and provide as much information as possible. And to be honest, Hilda is one of those roamers that can go toe-to-toe against a Khalid, because you have that extra bit of shield when you walk into the wilderness to get your HP back up, so you can try and contest with this Khalid. The glue is looking to rock the EXP lane. So EXP lane is going to be a battle of just beefy boys just standing against each other, and you can't really win. It's a dead lane created at that point. That's what they were going for as well. But here, it all comes down to how this land style work out in their favor. And if you talk about late game, they have the Kimi, but then again, needs a lot of protection, a lot of timing to be on point. A 1v1, Kimmy's going to end up losing out against the Eastern Shin. And they pick up the Irithel on the other side. We knew that was coming from miles out. Unless they really went crazy and surprised us with like a Mia or Layla or something. Wicked, start picking the Mia and Laylas, bro. But yeah, I think Irithel here works wonder as well. I think both are solid lineups, right? Nothing really crazy.
It's like they both have their own win conditions that they need to fulfill, and I think so they're actually pretty easy to do that too. It's eventually going to fall down to how well Kimmy and Zushin can pan away from the Khalid, who will try to jump on them, and the flicker skill 2 combination of the Phobius that will try to catch them by surprise. If they're able to dodge through all of that, I think so they will have the advantage, and then because they don't really rely on heavy ultimates, they're more of that consistent poke damage, so they will have the priority in prolonged team fights. But if you're talking about ET, they have their cooldowns. They need to focus one solid burst of their ultimates instantly. If they get the picks, good. If they don't get the picks, they have to retreat. They can't prolongate those team fights. So that's going to be a crucial play for their side. That means the peeling is going to be even more important for MINEVRA Fury, and I think so that's where this Hilda comes in as a big trump card.
I agree. The peel is going to be absolutely important. But then again, in extended team fights, yes, MINEVRA Fury are going to go and pick up the victory. But if you talk about a re-engage, that's where I think you can see Team Entity come out on top as well. Because yes, they have their cooldowns and their ultimates. But again, Irithel's cooldown on the heavy crossbow is absolutely low. Yi Sun-shin just needs the 1-2 to get on point. And of course, Enzo in the mid lane with the Zetian will be looking to try and get the damage in extended range, dish out a lot of damage. And instantly, they pop in that Celestial Armament, knowing that's going to be on cooldown for the next 105 to 120 seconds. So that's some opening that they can always use and gank up on top of Enzo.
Yeah, but right now, over towards the top side, Orange is going to be playing it a bit more safe out there with the split again. And the constant poke's going to be going into that mid lane. Now, Enzo has to play it smart. He cannot give up his HP before the turtle whatsoever, because we're looking at the bottom side and Wicked is already having a pretty solid time against Pelmetronio. But here's one good thing. Pelmetronio has frozen the wave in his own favor.
Yeah, definitely. I think Pelmetronio going against Wicked, it's gonna be a battle that everybody wants to watch. To be honest, it's a 1v1. Oh, popping the recall for some reason. Bro is just trying to flex over there a little bit. But Macaron making his rotation of the gold lane. The assignment is very simple for MINEVRA Fury. Unlock Wicked early and let him do Wicked things against the rest of Team Entity. But Team Entity, they're really relying on Tiso and Lyta to create the separation for Noel. But Phantom Execution, Tiso gets a lot of damage coming down just before the turtle.
Yes. Right before the turtle as well. But now those skills are on cooldown. So Noel can probably find something. Maybe some kind of timing as well as Lyta rotates in. Hold on.
Oh, wait. Pagu right now gets caught out. Oh, he misses out on the boat as well. Feels like Noel was looking to take that kill quite early, but Pagu, no flicker, is going to be super important now for the side of MINEVRA Fury to see how they can engage. But this is what I was talking about. The Hilda can just go into the bush, regen the HP back up, and you're back into the team fight. But here comes the Fury of the Phoenix. Now they're looking to make a play. But meanwhile, on the bot side, 1v1, won by Pelmetronio. And here they're looking for another. Meanwhile, the turtle already in the hands of MINEVRA Fury. So Wicked, although he went down, it did not get bad for the side of MINEVRA Fury as they got themselves a turtle.
Exactly my point. All that gold traded instantly because of the bottom side pick. And that to the individual one. Pelmetronio doing a phenomenal job with the heavy crossbow. And this is the main thing. Whenever you're playing against the Erethiel, you do not actually realize how good that skill 1, skill 2 combination is, because it reduces your defense. Now that heavy crossbow is going to deal more damage to you. But again, Pagu is out there trying to be as annoying as possible, but this rotation coming in from Macaron, that's going to be crucial. Can he catch onto Pelmetronio? Hold on, Tiso.
Oh, he could go in for the Raging Sandstorm, but instantly saw Macaron's there and had to get out of harm's way. Meanwhile, you can see the rest of MINEVRA Fury slowly dominating the rest of the river, man. And I think Orange Bot versus Light, though, this is a fight, honestly, I don't want to see, because it's going to be there going constantly. Oh, Pagu here, he gets caught out. Seems like he's trying to get out of harm's way. He has the damage to the shot, but Noel doing his own. And the range from Enzo able to pick up that kill. So 2 in the hands of a Team Entity. And knowing who they're up against, they're trying to take it slow as they can.
Underestimating the damage out there from the Yi Sun-shin. Hold on, look at him.
Oh my god, he gets caught out. Even after the Fury of the Phoenix, Enzo couldn't save the life of his jungler. Noel, trying to bite off more than he could chew, has been taken down. And here, Vlados QT, hey man, he's showing up. Even though the regular mid laner is not present, he's actually showing up.
Absolutely. He's constantly putting that pressure onto Enzo as well. So he can't really push out forward. And again, this constant poke that's coming in from MINEVRA Fury has enabled them to maintain that river control regardless of losing a couple of picks. And they understand the Yi Shen is again a bit slow in terms of clearing those jungle creeps as compared to a Lancelot. So they're pushing it far forward.
Oh my god, they are pushing it far forward indeed, but he flickers out with a Raging Sandstorm. Tiso's able to make it out of harm's way. Orange Bob gets caught out in the middle of it, and you get themselves the turtle. Noel trying to make it out of harm's way. He can. He doesn't have the Traceless. Buys himself enough time. They didn't have the extended bit of range that they needed. Macaron able to steal that creep and get out of harm's way. And look at what they're doing. They're zoning out Pelemetronia from his own minion wave, and that's 3. And Lythos there trying to provide some sort of a separation, but they don't really care. And it's thanks to the Lantern Flare coming in from Jushin, while Wicked is eating up the gold plate, and that's the last thing you want to see when you're going up against him.
Specifically on that, Kimmy. The faster he gets those itemizations, the more poking he will do. And that's going to be a bit of a problem right now. Wicked.
Oh no, Wicked able to make it out of harm's way. Pelemetronia has the heavy crossbow. Dish out the damage, happening to get that kill as well. Thanks to the proc and the passive. At the same time, Vlados QT goes in with a Crimson Beacon, has the Lantern Flare, dunks down Tiso as they're able to trade 1 for 1.
I'll have to give this big win into the hands of Orange, man. The way he cleared out that EXP lane and how quickly he moved in to support his team through those fights in the turtle and then in the later stages. That was a big thing out there, but also another nice trade this time coming in from Entity over on top. They were able to take down Macaron onto that Lancelot, and now will be at least able to trade that tower up top.
Oh yeah, and they're trying to trade that tower up top, but Pagu realizing that his teammate is needed in help, just comes in, tries to save the day. But at this point, that 1v1 between Noel and Macaron, Noel coming out on top, you can see why the Yi Shen has been in the meta for such a long time now.
He's going to be even more annoying now because we have constantly seen the Yi Shen to scale up so quickly in that jungle that by the time it's 9 minutes, 10 minutes is already level 14. And that gives you a big retribution advantage as well, let alone the amount of damage that he can deal. So it's going to become even more crucial for Pagu now to try and quickly build on that defensive item of the physical defense to try and sustain through the burst damage of the other side, since Tiso is also being pretty annoying with the Crescent Scimitar.
Yeah, you can see he's trying to go in. Lyto with the Infernal Pursuit has to dish out the damage, and now Macaron gets his hands on the turtle, trying to start it up. Lyto goes in again, one after another. Fury of the Phoenix trying to make a play. They catch him off guard. He goes in with a Raging Sandstorm with the flicker right on top of Wicked, but Wicked just bobbing and weaving, trying to get the kill, and yes, he does onto Tiso. Meanwhile, Orange Bob gets taken out at the same time, so 1 for 1 traded a roamer for EXP. Pagu's there in the thick of it, trying to survive, but Lyto goes in for the Infernal Pursuit time and again, just bonking his way. And now with the turtle that's up, they're trying to get that, but Pagu's going to be the target. They want some blood, and blood is what they get. As at this point, MINEVRA Fury just cannot contest and have to concede that turtle.
The second when the roamer got traded for the EXP laner was the time when Entity won that entire fight. In fact, they were the ones who prolonged that entire duel, and then Noel just getting his ultimate right on point as well, finding that perfect opportunity. I did like the idea of Tiso trying to make that play onto Wicked, but he was just too far forward, and there was no one to support him because every single one was being zoned out by Orange Bobby on the glue. I swear at this point, this glue has provided so much value to the side of MINEVRA Fury, but even after that, it is Entity who's constantly finding that damage and or finding the correct picks at the correct moment. Still, overall, there's not much gold laid out here in the favor of Entity right now. It's only 300. That means just a couple of minions, maybe a wave here and there.
Fury of the Phoenix comes out. Wicked taken out so low. Traction Pulse pullback. Pelemetronio, and that's an outplay at this point. It's a 1v1. Pelemetronio caught him off guard, but knowing Wicked, he does wicked things indeed. Outplays him in a 1v1 situation, even without having the advantage. Pelemetronio, yes, it could have worked out with any other goal laner, but not against this guy. This guy's on a different level.
He's absolutely on a new stage right now. And he's proving it even with Akimi, but hold on a second.
Macaron goes in with a puncture onto Enzo. He's trying to slice them like butter, one after the other. Just not soft enough. maybe in some time when he gets those items, when he gets his hands on a BOD, that's when he'll be slicing them through. But here, Light, though, trying to buy some time, getting picked up and dunked upon. You can see they come in. Tiso as well as the Raging Sandstorm, one after another. This is turned around as Vlados QT gets taken down himself. Pelamachonia goes against for the heavy crossbow, and this time seems like they will be able to defend.
Overextension coming in from MINEVRA Fury right now. They wanted to take Lito down, but that man is just too beefy at this point. I want to have a look at the itemizations right now. I'm pretty sure is probably built up already on the blade armor right now. Because of the amount of sustain that he can eventually get. Enzo picked up the lightning truncheon. That means he's going to deal so much more damage now to the other side. He's actually got the radiant armor and is now almost completing the blade armor too. So Wicked is going to struggle in terms of finishing him off. He's got absolutely no penetration, so you can't target this Phobius. That means the only other people that you can probably poke down are going to be Tiso.
Oh. Yeah, they have to poke somebody down, and that's looking like it's going to be Enzo at this point. He eats a lot of Lantern Flare, but the Fury of the Phoenix comes out right on time. Again, Vlados QT caught off guard, off position, and he gets melted down. He gets taken away, and now they're looking at Orange Bob as well at the same time. He flickers forward, but that's the play that they're looking for. He gets himself a killing spree, and Wicked, one after another, finds himself a double. Just make that a triple already. Give him the Maniac. We've seen a Savage today, and Wicked might just say that, hey, nobody's taking the highlight reel away from me.
Is just making sure that he deletes everyone, but they're actually pretty low. One heavy crossbow from Pelmetronic can do the job! And
yes,
he does exactly that!
He jumps in, he gets himself a double, and now looking for the triple. Pagu is trying to buy some time for the rest of his team to come back up, but you can see Enzo and Pelmetroni, without the help of both the junglers, able to get the Lord in the favor of Team Entity.
Phenomenal play coming in from Pelmetronio. Realize that everyone on the other side is actually low, and again, Wicked not completing the concentrated energy means he did not have enough regen right now, and Pelmetronio was able to burst them all down. They picked up this Lord now. We even saw the similar thing in the previous series, how the entire game was being controlled by Rain, but as the Lord, it was the other side to steal it away, and right now Entity are doing the same thing.
Oh no, the Fury of the Phoenix comes out right on time as well, catching them off guard, but nobody went in to make a play. Lito had the opening, but without the flicker being present, didn't really want to bite the bullet. And over here, Wicked along with Macaron trying to melt down the Lord as fast as possible so they don't have to succumb themselves to another set of super minion waves. It feels like at this point, Team Entity, although they're moving like a unit, they need to understand the assignment. They need to find the right openings. If not, it could just flip in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The later this game goes, the stronger Entity will get. They're eventually running with that double marksman composition either way. So all they need to do is just find one timing. And I'll have to say this. Sensei on that Zushin, his positioning was absolutely impeccable. But Vlados QT, yeah, he has been struggling in terms of that a little bit. He's been caught off positioned a couple of times, and that has costed MINEVRA Fury a bit of that control on the map itself. And Pelmetronio now picking up the Malefic Roar, or rather the Malefic Gun. It's going to give him extra bit of range as well to try and now out damage that Kimmy, and also maybe reach onto the other targets without actually getting in the harm's way.
And you know what? This entire time, we have seen that Team Entity are the ones slowly dominating the game. And MINEVRA Fury, yes, they're trying to bob and weave their way in, but look at Wicked's KDA. It's not like he's having a great game. He's still 5-3-1 though. This guy is just built different the entire time. And I know your chat's gonna be like, hey, these guys are just Wicked Glazes. But man, we're not. This guy's proven it time and again. And he's doing it once again in the semifinals over here. Game number 1 of this best of 5 is just started up and his team's down. But look at him. He's still shining bright as much as he can. And they know that when the time comes in, when the pressure is on, when you need someone to be lethal, he is going to be present. But here, Fury of the Phoenix gets popped in early.
Yeah, they actually want to catch on to this Hilda, who's out left on an island. Pagu!
Pagu goes down indeed, left all alone after the Mount Shocker just reveal their position. And this is what brings in when you have a global ultimate, not just one, but two, in the form of a Mountain Shocker, in the form of the Fury of the Phoenix, and a lot of AoE to follow up on that. And that's been the big difference maker as they're trying to extend this team fight once again. And Orange Bob seems to be next on the chopping block, but flickers out and makes sure he's safe.
As of now, though, but for how long is the big question? Hold on a second. Orange just gets deleted in an instant.
It goes in with a Thorn Rose as well. A Macaron trying to buy some time. And again, it came down to that Fury of the Phoenix, right? Just absolutely on point. Enzo knowing when to use that skill, knowing when to use that ultimate, just making sure maximizing their ability to win on anything.
Yeah, right now, and Macaron, though, wanted to find an opportunity now. He's built up the endless battle, so he will be lethal to Pelmetronio, who has not yet made a Wind of Nature. So he cannot immune that physical damage right now. Because Wicked already deals the magic damage.
Oh, Fury of the Phoenix comes out just to make sure Pelmetronio gets saved. He gets pulled back by the Traction Pulse. Flickers to make it out of harm's way. So there's no two flickers present. One in the hands of Light, though. One in the hands of Pelmetronio. And that seems to be an opening for the side of MINEVRA Fear. But here comes the Mountain Shocker as well. They're looking to catch Pagu once again. But hey, he's not going to make the same mistake twice. At this point, they understand what is needed to be done. The Lord is going to be the target.
Yeah, and to be honest, MIF are actually winning in terms of the macro game. They have a slow push up top as well. They've got the priority in the bottom side too. So ET will have to send at least one person out on the other side to try and take care of the minions. That's when MIF can actually focus down on this Lord. MINEVRA Fury have been winning out in the macro game.
A slow push, right? Slow pushes is what they're doing. You can see on the bot side as well. They're having priority thanks to the one extra minion that's buying them enough time. And I think at this point, it goes for the Mountain Shocker, and they're not being patient as they shouldn't. And here comes Tiso with the engage. He casts them off guard, and that's the kill onto Orange Bob. He's not having a great time on this glue so far, but now they go in with a Crimson Beacon. But the range coming through from Enzo on the Zetian is just way too much for them to deal with. Pagu in the back line, trying to find themselves. He's in the Tri-Brush, trying to find some opportunity, but Wicked, look at him, he's standing tall in the face of the opposition. 5-man to 1, Traction Pulse pulls them back, and Light goes in with the Astro Side with an Infernal Pursuit, but gets caught out by Wicked, and now they're trying to all hell breaks loose. One at a time, they're trying to show the damage. Unstoppable is Pelmetronio. Macaron comes through, and now you can see here is the Mountain Shocker. Lord taking out with 10,000 HP. Noel trying to zone them out as well. But still, they don't want to take the Lord.
Yeah, they have to reset. Macaron has better execution line. He's gonna try and do that, but it's Vlado to steal it away.
Wicked is there, but Vlad was able to steal it indeed. Macaron had the retribution, and so did Noel. Macaron went down early. Noel used the retribution, but the steal from Vlad is QT. We were talking about him not being able to live up to this, to the playmaking ability, to the positioning of Sensei, but my God, he did prove a point by stealing away the Lord.
That's one of the biggest objectives right now, though. But a big win still for ET because they were able to take down Vlado and Macaron out of the picture. So that means there cannot be any push on the back of this Lord. The only good thing is all the inhibitors are still going to stand strong. Having a look at the itemization, again, a Rose Gold Meteor being cooked up by Noel, that means extra bit of sustain through that magic damage of Kimmy. So Wicked will have to play it smart and safe. He has to realize that Macaron will, rather Noel will try to bait him out in certain off positions. Wicked has been doing a fantastic job till now, positioning himself well, and I'll have to give it to his team. They have been giving him that leeway, creating that room for him so that he can shine out the most. And for the longer that they're able to do this, the longer they can stretch this match out now. But it's eventually going to come down to those item swaps as well in a couple of minutes.
They get the Mountain Shocker on him. You can see he goes into the back line as well with that Raging Sandstorm. But my God, Orange Bob has the damage, and Wicked is just following up one after another. They make him get on a killing spree. But without Pelmetronio being in a fight, without Pelmetronio having the space, he is still doing a lot. 9-1-3, Fury of the Phoenix comes out. This could be the opening that they're looking for. Infernal Pursuit goes in, and they get Orange Bob. And Winter Crown trying to survive, but he gets taken down indeed by Wicked. Pelmetronio comes through, but the follow-up from Pagu, making sure he survives, but he goes for the heavy crossbow. He shuts down Wicked. He gives himself a double kill. Macaron trying to puncture his way in, but he still survives with the slightest bit of HP.
And he absolutely knows where Macaron is. Enzo is doing so much on the Zetian. He's just making sure that his teammate stays alive. And look at that. Thanks to the Hearth Claw, thanks to all of the items that he's built up till now, he's back to full HP. It's only Macaron and Pagu now trying to defend, and the Retry is on cooldown for the next 8 seconds.
Man, at this point, Pelmetronio looks like a surgeon with that crossbow, right? He knows when to go in, knows when to go out. He knows how to survive. He's done this twice now, once in the early game against Wicked. but still in the 1v1. And then Wicked got a number up on him. And this time again, just baiting out the entire team and then jumping in with a heavy crossbow, getting himself a double kill when his team needed him the most.
Wicked has now finally made the Wind of Nature as well, so he'll probably need to play it a bit more smart out there. A great Dragon Spear being brought in, combine it with the Wind Talker. You don't really need the boots out there, so Pelmetronio utilizing this Erethiel to its utmost perfection. The only thing that he's lacking right now is the Wind of Nature, so Macaron will have an opportunity to try and take him down, but he's just been saving his flickers, he's been saving his heavy crossbows for those moments where he could eventually dodge the Thorn Rose, maybe even the punctures. And again, as a Lancelot, you actually have to initiate starting your ultimate again.
Initiate, and you can see the Fury of the Phoenix. Along with that, they go for the Infernal Pursuit at the same time. Orange Bob's the first one to fall down. Tiso got able to survive. Pelmetronio had the number up on Macaron with the heavy crossbow, one after another, dishing out the damage, and looks like Team Entity have got control of this Lord Pit. Pagu is trying to scout out the bushes, but by no means is he let to enter by T-Sol as well as Lighto. And now they will definitely get themselves a 20-minute Lord, and this looks like it's gonna be a walk down mid lane when the Lord comes in, and Team Entity might be looking to end it all.
It's an enhanced Lord right now, a mutant out there, and a solid one at that. We'll have to say it's going to be very difficult to defend against, and considering now Noel has also made the Blade of Despair, good luck trying to survive when your HP is lower than 50%. That's going to be more damage being soaked up. Enzo has been so on point, and the fact that he went in with the fleeting time as well on the Zetian, he's constantly popping in his ultimate time and time again, and they're getting so much vision, so much information to try and catch the other side off guard. I did see an immortality being picked up by Pelmetronio, but he sold it back again for his core item. So it's going to do a lot more damage now with the Rose Gold Meteor as well in the account.
Yeah, Rose Gold Meteor trying to help them survive as well, but at the same point, here, Wicked needs to do a lot. He's the one that has to give out the DPS to make sure they're able to clear out the Lord much faster. And you can see how they pull the Lord down to the bot side and making sure they get the aggro, not to the base crystal, making sure that they survive. It's 20 minutes into the game, and that is what they do to try and clear out the Lord. Talk about a successful and clean defense. Yes, you have another set of super minion waves coming in, but that kind of a defense at 21 minutes into the game, that shows you're not just a regular team. This is a top team we're talking about, possibly the Kings of Europe. As Tiso goes into the back line and they catch Wicked, the target that they were looking for, caught them off guard completely. Raging Sandstorm with a flicker Astra's Eye, and they get themselves another. Orange Bob falls down. Macaron seems to be next on the chopping block, is all thanks to the range that Enzo is providing. Yes, they had a clean defense, but what is going to be the follow-up?
That's a big follow-up as well, Tristo specifically with the flicker Raging Sandstorm, and they can eventually end now. The minions are coming in from every direction.
Yeah, they're coming in from every direction, but you can see Macaron's trying his best to clear, and he actually gets a kill onto Noel, and Vladis QT finds Lighto, but meanwhile, Pelmetronio understands the assignment. Went crazy with that play, so knowing that this is a playmaking hero, not just one to provide vision, it can be utilized so many different ways, is is going to be absolutely crucial at this point. And you can see they take out the Yi Sun Shin once again
instantly
compared to the previous series. So at this point, Yi Sun Shin just being respected in the hands of Noel, and Yi Sun Shin is a hero that as soon as he's left open, there's a possibility of a triple marksman lineup.
And that also gives us an idea that Macaron still wants to stick to his assassin jungles instead of actually going in and picking up the Yeast and Shins, or maybe going in a bit more towards those, tanky jungle meta as well. I think so. That basically lowers their chances in terms of that jungle pool too, but guess what? I think so they still want to keep their mid lane priority. Maybe they still want to try and prioritize the Zushins, maybe even the Farsa, because that was banned out previously. But as soon as I say that, they're going to stick to that second Farsa ban too. While ET, they're going to stick to their 1-1 ban. There's no changes there, absolutely nothing. Plus, you don't want to give the 1-1 to Wicked, right? I still remember all the way back in MESL Grand Final game number 7, if I'm not wrong. He probably had the 1-1 out there, and at least in one of those games where he just destroyed the other side with his pick.
And you do not want to give him the 1-1. The 1-1's a hero that'll absolutely decimate them no matter what. He has to be respected. 1-1 is in the current meta. You really have a lot. You really can't play a lot of divey heroes. You can't really play a lot of tank jungles, especially if you pick up the 1-1. Against the 1-1. So that's why 1-1 being banned out. That means Team Entity want to have some room to play around with. They can go for the Fredra in the jungle. The Baxia still left open. So and then they have fighters in the form of I mean, I can't believe probably Julian maybe. You know, the Uranus is still an option that's in the jungle that's been played multiple places. It's a hero that's been played in the jungle in the EWC. So I think Uranus in the jungle can be played, of course. But here, the Baxia being banned out means that we're not going to see a lot of flexibility come through from either teams.
There's the thing. You talk about Uranus into the jungle as well. Guess what? Macaron picked it up yesterday only in the first quarterfinal game that he was playing up against New Era. So it worked. It worked absolutely well. So Baxia, Uranus this time, both of them being banned out. Again, it's almost the similar things, but you've already left the cutout Kacha open. That's the only change that we witnessed. You know, I mentioned the same thing. Maybe this time, MINEVRA Fury are going to leave the cutout open. Maybe they're going to pick it up for themselves after giving away the next 2 picks. And since they banned the Yi and Shin, that means there's going to be a new jungler coming in for ET. I like the idea that they're going with, but now the question is, are they going to pick the Zushin or they're going to pick the Kimi? Or maybe they're going to leave both of them open and pick up the Phoveus.
No, they go for the Kimi, knowing that they can play this in the mid lane and not force it in the hands of Wicked and give Wicked a little more space and room to play around with. So at this point, Kimi has been a priority pick, been picked up here in the blue side as the first pick. They don't want to make the same mistake that they made at the previous game. So Team Entity, now they do have a plethora of options to choose from. It being one of the jungler picks, maybe a Lancelot early again. Could also go for the Lapu Lapu. So Phoveus is still up for grabs. Badang is still available. So these are definitely heroes that's there.
One of the big picks against the Kimi as well. I was about to say Padang could be picked up early on though, but steal away the Lancelot and they lock in the Phoveus just like the last time. I'm all right. I'm absolutely down for it. You really want to catch the other side with surprise as well with pace too, with the flicker, with the Phoveus. It's been working out pretty well. Lancelot already has a lot of mobility up on board now. So I don't know if Kimi is actually going to go in the hands of Wicked right now or not. These next 2 picks are actually going to prove that. But I think so this is a good time for them to lock in even the Katot Kacha. It pairs up pretty well against the Phoveus in the lane. It's also able to clear out the wave and rotate into the team fights. And you've got a good amount of crowd control. And you also deny certain less mobility heroes on the other side.
Mobility is a key factor indeed. Like mobility really is a key factor in these kind of games. And I think so far we really haven't seen any team go for a pick-off centric hero, right? They all want to be in the team fight. They all want to have AoE or at least have some sort of heal. And speaking of AoE and heal, talk about the two. They look like brothers over there, don't they? The Laplap and the Badang.
Yeah, just 2 different clans out there. One that uses the swords, the other one that uses their fists.
Bro, they got the same tattoos as well.
I know, right? And holy smokes. The fun fact is they both got long hairs and they both got a headband. One red, one blue.
Same tattoo.
2 different factions. Holy smokes, you know, 1 red, 1 blue. That's also working out here.
You know what happened? You know what happened? Lapu Lapu and Badang both trained with their swords. But Badang got his arms cut off, so he went and got steel arms instead.
He's basically a Bucky from Marvel movies, but with both the hands lost and both vibranium hands. All right, that's one thing though. But again, the Zaytian is going to be locked in on the other side, so that thing's going to remain same. We know Enzo has been super solid in that already. But the question is now, what are going to be the bans? Because we have a straightforward idea from MINEVRA Fury. They're going to ban out those roamers. They're going to try and choke that pool. While on the other side, they're actually focusing down onto that gold lane now. So Entity want this Kimi to go into the hands of Wicked.
Yeah, I think they're trying to force it, right? They're trying to really force it and then put it in the hands of Wicked. If I'm not wrong, they're probably going to ban out the Irithel or the Moskov and then pick up the next goal lane hero for themselves.
Probably.
So that's one thing. But I just want to, just a big shout out to what Warren said earlier. Like, Wicked has the hero pool, which is not a pool, it's an ocean. Like, he has an ocean of a hero pool, so you really can't ban him out at this point. You adjust the draft that Wicked wants to play at this point so he can carry the rest of the team. Again, no shade the fact that Minerva Fury do not have a great team. They have former MPL players. He's the only one player that has not played an MPL. So knowing that they really rely on him to carry the rest of the game shows that how good he is. And at this point, they got the Kacha being banned out to prevent the dive of the back line. Very clear. Jushin being taken away. So they're still thinking that this Kimi could go into the gold lane. Yeah. Probably a read into Vlados QT's hero pool.
I personally feel the exact same thing. Maybe they kind of have an idea of how deep the hero pool of Vlados goes in. So they're now trying to force Wicked to be on that Kimi so that Vlados can have something else. Or maybe just trying to force that Kimi into the hands of Vlados, thinking maybe he might not be very comfortable playing that one. We've already seen Enzo having a big advantage in the mid lane already. And I think so, if you're not picking Kimi in the mid, Zaytian is going to clear that faster. So if you've got a roamer that can actually pair up well with Zaytian, they will have the full river control. We already saw what's going to happen if they don't have the river control. They still make it work. Now they also have the Lancelot. Will have a very fast clearing speed. Now, my main question relies on to us, who's going to be the jungler for MINEVRA Fury? They have an option in the form of Ling, in the form of a Hayabusa, and if they really want to pair it up with, then maybe a Fredrin if they want to go for. But yeah, Moscow now being picked up. I think so Wicked can actually still lock his Erythiel.
Hey, did Minerva Fury just shot themselves in the foot because they banned out the Erythrel after the Jushin was banned out and the Moscow has been picked up? That means, guess what? Bruno left open. Because looking at the bans, it felt like they shot themselves in the foot, right? Because like they banned out the Erythrel themselves. But the Bruno being picked up, I like the Bruno. Once he gets that Malefic gun, he's definitely going to dish out a lot of damage. And not just that, he's a hero that can sustain 1v1 or 1v5 just because he has a Haas's Claws. So definitely a hero is definitely a hero that can dish out a lot of burst early, mid, and late game. Although his mid game power spike feels like it's dropped off, it definitely hasn't. It's just the tankiness of everybody else increases. So at this point, I like the Bruno being picked up. But the Akai, though, is that the real jungle option you're going for? We saw it being played out by Rain against a similar lineup of a Phoveus and a Lancelot and a Moskov. It's absolutely the same. I'm not sure if the mid lane was Zetian, but, it's not looking good. And, oh, no. With a pick-off coming through as well.
Yeah, it's... I'm pretty sure it's already done and dusted. I'm going in for ET in terms of the draft this time around. The Akai and Lapu Lapu do not pair up well. Lapu wants everyone to be together. Badang wants everyone to be together. While Akai is just there pushing everyone away out like a Beyblade. So
hear me out. Hear me out. Badang pushes in, creates the wall. Akai does the heavy spin and Lapu Lapu just goes crazy. It's the brotherly combo.
That's one heck of a combo that you're actually hoping for. And you know what? There's only one big, or rather one small utility that counters everything, and that's a Purify, which I'm pretty sure Laito can run because he's already got his dash. Even Enzo can run considering he's got his passive up almost most of the times. Pelmetronio, or rather, Tiso will have his Shunpo available to dodge every piece of that stun. And guess what? Phoveus does not really care about that. He wants everyone to engage on him. So it is a possibility. Yes, I agree. But there's a very slight chance out there for that to work though. The only thing that now I can think of how they can make it work is if Akai actually plays on the other part of the map. And the only time he hops in with team is to clear out those neutral objectives. But man, they really need this game number 2.
They really do, man. The heat is on indeed. They have to make sure they get their ACs turned up. Otherwise, they'll be melting in the land of Dawn. Because, of course, it's game number 2, and Minerva Fury need to show up. Otherwise, it's going to be match point for Team Entity.
It's going to be a big thing out here right now. They want to try and get this one. Otherwise, the pressure will be onto them. But now, since the Lancelot's on the other side, Pagu's going to run away. Lucky to be alive out there, my guy. Yeah, coming back to the same conversation, since Noel is playing on that Lancelot, Tisso's got the Cho, Laito again on that Phobius, he's going to be annoying as heck. They're going to have so much more priority in terms of those pickoffs. And that's why Vlados pick it. Both of them, they're running with the Purifiers themselves.
Yeah, that was like that was a little too much damage coming in from Enzo, man. That was the early game. He didn't have a single item. I think all he had was the boots. That was just raw base damage coming through from the Zetian with the Phoenix Descent, and you can see the amount of range that it comes through with as well. And here Tiso, knowing that he has a fast clear, along with Enzo, will be able to make a faster rotation. But on the top side, the jungler, Noel, trying to go through, punctures his way, understands Wicked is the target, but Pagu showing himself, making sure he doesn't want to dive in. Meanwhile, a mirror coming on the other side.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a bit of a weird thing. Laito is going to be running back to safety. Both the junglers playing on the opposite end of the map. That clearly showcases the priority of ET right now. They want to make sure that Pelmetronio farms up because the Bruno should have the advantage in the lane. I've always talked about this. I'll still say like a broken record. Moscow's low range is a bit of a problem out there, but the SODs can be that big tool to help him move into these team fights right now as Baccaron tries to start this turtle.
I'm telling you, man, we know you hate Moscow, all right? It's been an age-old story. I know for a fact you hate a Moscow. But with the Malefic gun, he definitely has a lot of range. But here you can see the Fury of the Phoenix coming out. Macaron popping in the heavy spin as well. First blood on the hands of Orange Bob, able to get that kill. They get themselves the turtle as Orange Bob will fall down at the same time. Tiso might be going down next to the chopping block, but being saved by Laito, making sure to create that sort of a separation. And now Wicked versus Pelmetroni, no Spear of Misery, so Wicked has the upper hand. He goes in, pops in the worldie. Could have gotten the kill. Pelmetronio making it out of harm's way, tries to go in. I don't know if it's a smart decision, but the rest of the team backing him up.
Yeah, he's gonna be safe as well because Tisso was there to try and figure out where Pagu's gonna be. That's a smart move again. Not really missing out on his cannon minion. That's a big play from Pelmetronio. Even though people might consider that's just one minion, trust me, for a gold laner, every single one of those minions matters, specifically if it's a cannon one. Giving you 130 plus gold out there. Do not want to miss out on that. And that also means that Wicked will not have a very comfortable lead against Pelmetronio in that lane too. For now, 600 gold. Yeah, he's in the advantage too. But you can already see the itemization coming in from Pelmetronio. He is focusing down his first item. And that is going to be the cross erosion strike. Yeah, missed out on that one. For some reason, I had the crossbow of Tang on my mind, and I was like, why am I thinking of 1-1's ultimate at this point?
I mean, heavy crossbow of Tang, corrosion sight. And they also, that actually, you might have been because of the crossbow kite. I think that's the small item that's been made for the corrosion sight, right? So maybe because of that. So if I'm not wrong, is it called a kite? I don't know. We'll look it up. But here, I mean, Tiso, so far, just going through, doing Cho things. GLaDOS QT has a lot more pressure this time. He has to dish out the damage when he's playing the Kimmy, right?
He's also running on the weakness finder as well. So that's going to mean a bit of an extra slow on the other side, which you might not expect on some of those awkward timings. So it could eventually help them out. And he's feeling a bit more confident on this Kimmy right now, to be honest, I'll have to say. As compared to Zushin, he's been doing a better job now. And again, Fury of the Phoenix coming in, it gives out the vision that everyone is on the turtle side, so they're going to trade it away for the gold towards the top lane.
Oh, Tiso tried to go for a play, but I don't think it was the right target as well. No backup being provided, just making sure his presence is felt. Both the teams are dominating one half of the river, which is absolutely crucial because it shows that they are able to open up the map a lot more. And Wicked just completely ignoring the top side, coming to the bot side, trying to make sure they shut down Laito as early as possible, knowing that he can be an absolute menace with his Phobius.
Yeah, and also making sure that Wicked gets that farm too early on. They made sure that even on the Kimmy, he is having that support right now, but the purple is being stolen away. Orange has given the vision.
Yeah, it's been stolen away already, but you can see on the top side, Pelmetronio is hacking away at the tower, one shot, one arrow, and one spear at a time. But here, Tiso, Orange Bob catches them. Oh, he goes for the play. I think a little too late with a shot call. But the Purifier coming through for Pelmetronio, making sure he survives. SOD to connect as well. Tiso, I'm not really sure if that was the right play. Went for the conceal so he can make it out of harm's way. That felt a little disconnected, didn't it?
It was very disconnected. So wanted to go for the play. Rest of the team decided not to. They were too far behind. That eventually resulted in a Purify now being baited out by Pelmetronio. So he cannot really stand up on top and defend it unless everyone else hop in to support him. Because Orange is going to get his ultimate backup faster than everyone else. And even Tiso, he's got the Way of the Dragon available right now, but it just seems like MINEVRA Fury don't really want to force the issue anymore. But I like the rotation that's coming in from MINEVRA. They've sent out Macaron to make sure that Lancelot is not pushing those off lanes and everyone else are playing together. So it's like all four people on one part of the map for both the teams, while the junglers are on the opposite ends.
Yeah, well, a cross-map plays need to have some sort of way, right? Especially when both these junglers. But you know for a fact that one's gonna make it on time. But Fury of the Phoenix comes through. Tisa goes into the Way of the Dragon, taking out low. Orange Bob looking for the kill on the flank angle. Bravest Fighter comes out as well. Tisa's able to make it on harm's way. Landshaker trying to dish out some sort of damage, trying to create an opening and an opportunity. But unfortunately, nobody goes down. It's just a trade of skills, a trade of HP, and again, reset and focus on the neutral objective.
But the river control has been taken by MINEVRA Fury, and Noel's going to be forced out of that bush. He's not going to steal this one turtle away as well. That's the third turtle now going in for MINEVRA. But here's the fun fact. The goal lead is only of 800, and that is not high. It's just like a couple of $100 for almost every other hero right now. And any time any of the team can actually tilt the odds in their favor depending on the engage that they're actually going to go with. I do have to mention that Tiso has been outplaying the other side a bit too good.
He has been, but you can see, oh, here comes the heavy spin, actually pushes him back into the hands of Wicked. He purifies from the Astra's eye as well, able to get that kill. That was really good coming in. That was good communication, but here's the Fury of the Phoenix. Laito creating the opportunity for his team as well. Goes in, but doesn't contest. He actually gets that kill nonetheless. He could have gone for an Infernal Pursuit, but just didn't go for it. But meanwhile, here, 1v1, Orange Bob versus Pelmetronio. Not to no avail.
He's not going to go any far forward right now. I mean, three of the people out there in the tower. He had the flicker, but just deciding to play it a bit more disciplined out there as towards the bottom lane. Wicket should be able to get this tower too. Look at the damage he's dealing. He's already got the Berserker's Fury, and he's just taking control of the entire game now.
Wicked does wicked things. That's what I call it. At this point, he's just able to control the pace of the fight. He controls when they want to pick a fight. He knows when they want to disengage because he's the one that has the damage and is being respected by Team Entity. And knowing that he has a Purified, Tiso can't really jump on him quite easily as well. But that gives the opening for Noel to go, puncture his way through and try and get him. But Pagu along with Orange Bob are not going to let that happen as they catch him off guard here. Tiso still makes it out of harm's way with a Shunpo. So MINEVRA Fury and Team Entity, this is a really nice battle. It feels like a chess match, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And to be honest now, I actually want to have a look at the itemization of Tiso because I'll be honest, he needs to force down a plate armor instantly and he gets bursted down at that very second. Just as I was mentioning that he needs to focus on the blade armor just because he's just eating up so much damage right now, man.
He is. I think he's probably has himself, one of the Dreadnought armors to try and move into the anti-cuirass. But here you can see they're blitzing away at the Lord. Pagu's not making sure to try to get in. But here comes the heavy spin. Noel gets caught out as well. And I think he tried to steal it. Oh, wait, he did steal it away. Pelmetronio did. Oh, who stole it?
It was Noel only with the execution line from the Thorn Rose. He stole it and now they're going to push through the mid as well.
Oh, but here he goes for the Way of the Dragon, able to find the play, but Pagu goes into with a combo, and now Laito with the Infernal Pursuit, catching them one at a time. Pelmetronio comes into the fray as well, and now looking to take them down, but here comes the Raging Slash from Orange Bob, as Wicked says, you know what, you got yourself the Lord, I'm kind of pissed off, and I want to get the kills, and he gets ham with them, still able to survive thanks to this lifesteal from the Haas's Claw.
Yeah, I mean, that's again a smart micro play out there because the burn would have taken him down. So he just got that one basic attack landed in on the purple buff to try and sustain through all of that. But they're going to lose the towers out there in mid as well as the top and the bottom. That means they will lose their own jungle access now. Having a quick look at the itemization, Sky Piercer, Glowing Wand for the Kimi, now moving into the concentrated energy. But on the other side, you already have a Radiant Armor, you already have a Blade Armor for Laito. He's gonna soak up every single piece of damage on his face, and 7,500 gold already for the Moscow. The Holy Trinity is up. Now he's going to focus down onto the Wind of Nature as well. Once he completes that, he will go ham in front of Wicked.
That Trinity is absolutely important, right? That Trinity is the one that will dish out the damage for them. So Pelimetronia has it. He doesn't need stacks. He doesn't need skills. Moskov just needs one bit of an opening, and then it's going to be disaster on the other side. It's gonna, will the clutch come through? That's the important part, because here Noel is level 14 while Macaron is 12, but the gold lane exchange the same as here. Fury of the Phoenix comes out for a play. Wicked, man, he is moving fast at this point. SOD connects, but he does not want to extend the threat.
I'll have to say, how MINEVRA defended their tier 3 into that mid lane, that was absolutely crucial. It still is standing up, and that is one of the big reasons why right now we did not see Pelmetronio completely go into the fight with his SOD. He realized that he's going to be in tower and everyone is just ready for him to spawn there. And also his team just decided to go back and retreat. Wicked has picked up his own Wind of Nature. Now that can tilt the favor of this entire fight in his favor, because again, there's a lot of physical damage on the other side. Noel, Pelmetronio, Laito. That's going to be a big thing. But yeah, I'm looking at Tiso. But the thing is, he's got no backup right now for himself.
He has no backup, but if you look at it, they're trying to make a sandwich out of MINEVRA at this point. It's looking like it's going to be a sandwich play. They're trying to scout out Pelimetronia because he's going to be the target, and they find him, and now they're trying to make his own sandwich. Purified a little too early and makes the use of the SOD to get on harm. Somebody can see Tiso comes in, no heavy spin presence, so Macaron's going to be the target, but Laito gets caught out and is able to flicker out of harm's way.
Yeah, it's a lot of major spells baited out on the other side. A flicker from Laito. Pelmetronio has not got the Purify for the next 69 seconds. And every single thing is up for MINEVRA Fury. That's a big macro win now.
Pelmetronio gets his hands on the Wind of Nature as well at the same time. Noel able to make it out of harm's way. This time they understand that they don't want him around to be a threat to the Retribution. That Thorn Rose has a lot of base damage, so able to get it. But here they go for it with that Way of the Dragon, and able to get that kill with the Raging Slash. Will he make the outplay, the 2v1? Wind of Nature comes out as well, and this could be the opening that they're looking for the Fist Break Fist Crack combo. But the Fury of the Phoenix catches one as Pagu is able to get the kill onto Pelmetronio. Lord is marching down the bot side. Wicked knows that the rest of Entity were offside and is smashing their way through one at a time now.
That was an absolutely brilliant play coming in, to be honest. And this is the strength of Lapu Lapu. Orange Bob, he just did a phenomenal job in that 1v2. Almost catching both of them, though. He only fell because of the Fury of the Phoenix out there. But they still have enough to maybe go for this defense, but they'll be down to their inhibitors now. Entity are struggling and they're on the back foot.
Yeah, Wicked now going one at a time. Gets himself that inhibitor. Lord is still standing with about 20,000 HP. No minions means they cannot push, but you can see on the top side, Noel garnering the attention of the rest of MINEVRA Fury, and now they have to back away because they do not have any sort of minion waves. And again, Tiso is always threatening the back line with a Flicker Way of the Dragon, Flicker Jeet Kundo combo. But this Cho, yes, he's been moving fast. He's been absorbing a lot of damage. He's trying to get out, of difficult positions. But in terms of playmaking, he's been underwhelming, hasn't he?
I was about to say the exact same thing. He can't seem to make a set for his own team now. And one of the big reasons is... Hold on.
Speaking of set, you can see the Fury of the Phoenix comes out. Oh my god, Ryus QT has a lot of damage. He gets his kill on the Tiso. But Wicked, 1v1 against the Assassin. It's actually a 1v5. He purifies. He gets his hands on Laito. And now looking at Pelmetronio. Yes, you have a Wind of Nature, but that's why you have a Kimmy. It's magic damage. They can't do anything. But look at Pagu. He goes in forward. He wants to base Crystal. And now they get their hands on a mid lane inhibitor at the same time. Wicked is so low, but swaps his item for an immortality. And now gets his HP back up thanks to the Hostage Claws. The base Crystal is left exposed, and the damage is dishing out way too much. He survived thanks to that, but there it is. The Phantom Execution gets a shutdown, and now they're able to get Wicked, and that means the rest of Minerva Fury will back away, respecting the damage that Team Entity can bring in.
Holy smokes, it took every single thing in them to try and defend with that one. They threw everything they had except for the kitchen sink out there. And man, oh man, Wicked, the play that he made up in that top lane near the inhibitor, absolutely mind-blowing. To be honest, you would never really expect a Bruno to dash in that far forward though, but Noel forcing out the heavy spins.
Yeah, you can see he already baited out, but at the same time, Orange Bob goes in for the Land Shaker, and he's trying to use the Raging Slash to get Pelamatroni, and he gets it indeed. And now they find another. Noel goes down. GLaDOS QT is absolutely pulling his weight, making up for what happened in game number 1 with this Kimmy 5-1-4. You talk about Wicked, you talk about Sensei, but GLaDOS QT, yes, he's a substitute, but by God, he's putting on a display. And look at Wicked. He understands that Tiso trying to cut the wave, but making sure that doesn't happen. And now Pagu with a concealed play coming through Macaron, making sure the rest have to be separated. And you can see the Land Shaker of the Bravest Fighter coming out, but it's all to no avail as Minerva Fury will take game number 2.
It's gonna be a long You know what, guys? Back in the production, I'm actually gonna give you 1 for that one. That's actually very solid. That's actually very nice.
Been a priority pick, been picked up here in the blue side as the first pick. They don't want to make the same mistake that they made at the previous game. So Team Entity, now they do have a plethora of options to choose from. It being one of the jungler picks, maybe a Lancelot early again. Could also go for the Lapu Lapu. So Phoveus is still up for grabs. Badang is still available. So these are definitely heroes that's there.
One of the big picks against the Kimmy as well. I was about to say Padang could be picked up early on though, but steal away the Lancelot and they lock in the Phoveus just like the last time. I'm alright. I'm absolutely down for it. You really want to catch the other side with surprise as well with base 2, with the flicker, with the Phoveus. It's been working out pretty well. Lancelot already has a lot of mobility up on board now. So I don't know if Kimmy is actually going to go in the hands of Wicked right now or not. These next 2 picks are actually going to prove that. But I think so this is a good time for them to lock in even the Gatot Kacha. It pairs up pretty well against the Phoveus in the lane. It's also able to clear out the wave and rotate into the team fights. And you've got a good amount of crowd control. And you also deny certain less mobility heroes on the other side.
Mobility is a key factor indeed. Like mobility really is a key factor in these kind of games. And I think so far we really haven't seen any team go for a pick-off centric hero, right? They all want to be in the team fight. They all want to have AoE or at least have some sort of heal. And speaking of AoE and heal, talk about the two. They look like brothers over there, don't they? The Laplap and the Badang.
Yeah, just 2 different clans out there. One that uses the swords, the other one that uses their fists.
Bro, they got the same tattoos as well.
I know, right? And holy smokes. The fun fact is they both got long hairs and they both got a headband. 1 red, 1 blue.
Same tattoo.
2 different factions. Holy smokes, 1 red, 1 blue. That's also working out here.
You know what happened? You know what happened? Lapu Lapu and Badang both trained with their swords. But Badang got his arms cut off, so he went and got steel arms instead.
He's basically a Bucky from Marvel movies, but with both the hands lost and both vibranium hands. All right, that's one thing though. But again, the Zetian is going to be locked in on the other side, so that thing's going to remain same. We know Enzo has been super solid in that already. But the question is now, what are going to be the bans? Because we have a straightforward idea from MINEVRA Fury. They're going to ban out those roamers. They're going to try and choke that pool. While on the other side, they're actually focusing down onto that gold lane now. So Entity want this Kimmy to go into the hands of Wicked.
Yeah, I think they're trying to force it, right? They're trying to really force it and then put it in the hands of Wicked. If I'm not wrong, they're probably going to ban out the Irithel or the Moskov and then pick up the next goal lane hero for themselves. So that's one thing. But I just want to, just a big shout out to what Warren said earlier. Like, Wicked has the hero pool, which is not a pool, it's an ocean. Like, he has an ocean of hero pools, so you really can't ban him out at this point. You adjust the draft that Wicked wants to play at this point so he can carry the rest of the team. Again, no shade the fact that Minerva Fury do not have a great team. They have former MPL players. He's the only one player that has not played an MPL. So knowing that they really rely on him to carry the rest of the game, shows that how good he is. And at this point, the Kacha being banned out to prevent the dive of the backline, very clear. Jushin being taken away. So they're still thinking that this Kimmich could go into the gold lane. Yeah. Probably a read into Vlados QT's hero pool.
I personally feel the exact same thing. Maybe they kind of have an idea of how deep the hero pool of Vlados goes in. So they're now trying to force Wicked to be on that Kimmy so that Vlados can have something else. Or maybe just trying to force that Kimmy into the hands of Vlados, thinking maybe he might not be very comfortable playing that one. We've already seen Enzo having a big advantage in the mid lane already. And I think so, if you're not picking Kimmy in the mid, Zaytian is going to clear that faster. So if you've got a roamer that can actually pair up well with Zaytian, they will have the full river control. We already saw what's going to happen if they don't have the river control. They still make it work. Now they also have the Lancelot. Will have a very fast clearing speed. Now, my main question relies on to us, who's going to be the jungler for MINEVRA Fury? They have an option in the form of Ling, in the form of a Hayabusa. And if they really want to pair it up with, then maybe a Fredrin if they want to go for. But yeah, Moscow now being picked up. I think so Wicked can actually still lock his Erythel.
Hey, did MINEVRA Fury just shot themselves in the foot because they banned out the Erythel after the Jushin was banned out and the Moscow has been picked up? That means, guess what? Bruno left open. Because looking at the bans, it felt like they shot themselves in the foot, right? Because like they banned out the Erythel themselves. But the Bruno being picked up, I like the Bruno. Once he gets that Malefic gun, he's definitely going to dish out a lot of damage. And not just that, he's a hero that can sustain 1v1 or 1v5 just because he has a Haas's Claws. So definitely a hero is definitely a hero that can dish out a lot of burst early, mid, and late game. Although his mid game power spike feels like it's dropped off, it definitely hasn't. It's just the tankiness of everybody else increases. So at this point, I like the Bruno being picked up. But the Akai, though, is that the real jungle option you're going for? We saw it being played out by Rain against a similar lineup of a Phoveus and a Lancelot and a Moskov. It's absolutely the same. I'm not sure if the mid lane was Zetian, but, you know, it's not looking good. And, oh, no. With a pick-off coming through as well.
Yeah, it's... I'm pretty sure it's already done and dusted. I'm going in for ET in terms of the draft this time around. The Akai and Lapu do not pair up well. Lapu wants everyone to be together. Badang wants everyone to be together. While Akai is just there pushing everyone away out like a Beyblade. So
hear me out.
Hear me out.
Badang pushes in, creates the wall. Akai does the heavy spin and Lapu just goes crazy. It's the brotherly combo.
That's one heck of a combo that you're actually hoping for. And you know what? There's only one big, or rather one small utility that counters everything, and that's a Purify, which I'm pretty sure Laito can run because he's already got his dash. Even Enzo can run considering he's got his passive up almost most of the times. Pelmetronio, or rather, Tiso will have his Shunpo available to dodge every piece of that stun. And guess what? Phoveus does not really care about that. He wants everyone to engage on him. So it is a possibility. Yes, I agree. But there's a very slight chance out there for that to work though. The only thing that now I can think of how they can make it work is if Akai actually plays on the other part of the map. And the only time he hops in with team is to clear out those neutral objectives. But man, they really need this game number 2.
They really do, man. The heat is on indeed. They have to make sure they get their ACs turned up. Otherwise, they'll be melting in the land of Dawn. Because, of course, it's game number 2, and MINEVRA Fury need to show up. Otherwise, it's going to be match point for Team Entity.
It's going to be a big thing out here right now. They want to try and get this one. Otherwise, the pressure will be onto them. But now, since the Lancelot's on the other side, Pagu's going to run away. Lucky to be alive out there, my guy. Yeah, coming back to the same conversation, since Noel is playing on that Lancelot, Tiso's got the Cho, Laito again on that Phoveus, he's going to be annoying as heck. They're going to have so much more priority in terms of those pickoffs, and that's why Vlados picked both of them. They're running with the Purifiers themselves.
Yeah, that was like, that was a little too much damage coming in from Enzo, man. That was the early game. He didn't have a single item. I think all he had was the boots. That was just raw base damage coming through from the Zetian with the Phoenix Descent. And you can see the amount of range that it comes through with as well. And here, Tiso, knowing that he has a fast clear, along with Enzo, will be able to make a faster rotation. But on the top side, The jungler, Noel, trying to go through, punctures his way, understands the Wicked is the target, but Pagu showing himself, making sure he doesn't want to dive in. Meanwhile, a mirror coming on the other side.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a bit of a weird thing. Lighto is going to be running back to safety. Both the junglers playing on the opposite end of the map. That clearly showcases the priority of ET right now. They want to make sure that Pelmetronio farms up because the Bruno should have the advantage in the lane. I've always talked about this. I'll still say like a broken record. Moscow's low range is a bit of a problem out there, but the SODs can be that big tool to help him move into these team fights right now as Macaron tries to start this turtle.
I'm telling you, man, we know you hate Moscow, all right? It's been an age-old story. I know for a fact you hate a Moscow. But with the Malefic gun, he definitely has a lot of range. But here you can see the Fury of the Phoenix coming out. Macaron popping in the heavy spin as well. First blood on the hands of Orange Bob, able to get that kill. They get themselves the turtle as Orange Bob will fall down at the same time. Tiso might be going down next to the chopping block, but being saved by Lighto, making sure to create that sort of a separation. And now Wicked versus Pelmetroni, no Spear of Misery, so Wicked has the upper hand. He goes in, pops in the worldie. Could have gotten the kill. Pelmetronio making it out of harm's way, tries to go in. I don't know if it's a smart decision, but the rest of the team backing him up.
Yeah, he's gonna be safe as well because Tiso was there to try and figure out where Pagu is gonna be. That's a smart move again. Not really missing out on his cannon minion. That's a big play from Pelmetronio. Even though people might consider that's just one minion, trust me, for a gold laner, every single one of those minions matters, specifically if it's a cannon one. Giving you 130 plus gold out there. Do not want to miss out on that. And that also means that Wicked will not have a very comfortable lead against Pelmetronio in that lane too. For now, 600 gold. Yeah, he's in the advantage too. But you can already see the itemization coming in from Pelmetronio. He is focusing down his first item. And that is going to be the cross. Erosion strike. Yeah, missed out on that one. For some reason, I had the crossbow of Tang on my mind, and I was like, why am I thinking of 1-1's ultimate at this point?
I mean, heavy crossbow of Tang, corrosion sight. And they also, that actually, you might have been because of the crossbow kite. I think that's the small item that's been made for the corrosion sight, right? So maybe because of that. So if I'm not wrong, is it called a kite? I don't know. We'll look it up. But here, I mean, Tiso, so far, just going through, doing Cho things. GLaDOS QT has a lot more pressure this time. He has to dish out the damage when he's playing the Kimmy, right?
He's also running on the weakness finder as well. So that's going to mean a bit of an extra slow on the other side, which you might not expect on some of those awkward timings. So it could eventually help them out. And he's feeling a bit more confident on this Kimmy right now, to be honest, I'll have to say. As compared to Zushin, he's been doing a better job now. And again, Fury of the Phoenix coming in, it gives out the vision that everyone is on the turtle side, so they're going to trade it away for the goal towards the top lane.
Oh, Tiso tried to go for a play, but I don't think it was the right target as well. No backup being provided, just making sure his presence is felt. Both the teams are dominating one half of the river, which is absolutely crucial because it shows that they are able to open up the map a lot more. And Wicked just completely ignoring the top side, coming to the bot side, trying to make sure they shut down Lighto as early as possible, knowing that he can be an absolute menace with his Phoveus.
Yeah, and also making sure that Wicked gets that farm too early on. They made sure that even on the Kimmy, he is having that support right now, but the purple is being stolen away. Orange has given the vision.
Yeah, it's been stolen away already, but you can see on the top side, Pelmetronio is hacking away at the tower, one shot, one arrow, and one spear at a time. But here, Tiso, Orange Bob catches them. Oh, he goes for the play. I think a little too late with a shot call. But the Purify coming through for Pelmetronio, making sure he survives. SOD to connect as well. Tiso, I'm not really sure if that was the right play. Went for the conceal so he can make it out of harm's way. That felt a little disconnected, didn't it?
It was very disconnected. Tiso wanted to go for the play. Rest of the team decided not to. They were too far behind. That eventually resulted in a Purify now being baited out by Pelmetronio. So he cannot really stand up on top and defend it unless everyone else hop in to support him. Because Orange is going to get his ultimate backup faster than everyone else. And even Tiso, he's got the Way of the Dragon available right now. But it just seems like MINEVRA Fury don't really want to force the issue anymore. But I like the rotation that's coming in from MINEVRA. They've sent out Macaron to make sure that Lancelot is not pushing those off lanes and everyone else are playing together. So it's like all four people on one part of the map for both the teams while the junglers are on the opposite ends.
Yeah, well, across map plays need to have some sort of way, right? Especially when both these junglers. But you know for a fact that one's gonna make it on time. But Fury of the Phoenix comes through. Tisa goes into the way of the dragon, taking out low. Orange Bob looking for the kill and the flank angle. Bravest Fighter comes out as well. Tisa's able to make it on harm's way. Landshaker trying to dish out some sort of damage, trying to create an opening and an opportunity. But unfortunately, nobody goes down. It's just a trade of skills, a trade of HP, and again, reset and focus on the neutral objective.
But the river control has been taken by MINEVRA Fury, and Noel's going to be forced out of that bush. He's not going to steal this one turtle away as well. That's the third turtle now going in for MINEVRA. But here's the fun fact. The goal lead is only of 800, and that is not high. It's just like a couple of $100 for almost every other hero right now. And any time any of the team can actually tilt the odds in their favor depending on the engage that they're actually going to go with. I do have to mention that Tiso has been outplaying the other side a bit too good.
He has been, but you can see, oh, here comes the heavy spin, actually pushes him back into the hands of Wicked. He purifies from the Astro's Eye as well, able to get that kill. That was really good coming in. That was good communication, but here's the Fury of the Phoenix. Lito creating the opportunity for his team as well. Goes in, but doesn't contest. He actually gets that kill nonetheless. He could have gone for an Infernal Pursuit, but just didn't go for it. But meanwhile, here, 1v1, Orange Bob versus Pelimetronio. Knocked to no avail.
He's not going to go any far forward right now. I mean, 3 of the people out there in the tower. He had the flicker, but just decided to play it a bit more disciplined out there as towards the bottom lane. Wicket should be able to get this tower too. Look at the damage he's dealing. He's already got the Berserker's Fury, and he's just taking control of the entire game now.
Wicked does wicked things. That's what I call it. At this point, he's just able to control the pace of the fight. He controls when they want to pick a fight. He knows when they want to disengage because he's the one that has the damage and is being respected by Team Entity. And knowing that he has a Purify, Tiso can't really jump on him quite easily as well. But that gives the opening for Noel to go, puncture his way through and try and get him. But Pagu along with Orange Bob are not going to let that happen as they catch him off guard here. Tiso still makes it out of harm's way with a Shunpo. So MINEVRA Fury and Team Entity, this is a really nice battle. It feels like a chess match, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And to be honest now, I actually want to have a look at the itemization of Tiso because I'll be honest, he needs to force down a blade armor instantly. And he gets bursted down at that very second. Just as I was mentioning that he needs to focus on the blade armor, just because he's just eating up so much damage right now, man.
He is. I think he's probably has himself, one of the Dreadnought armors to try and move into an anti-cuirass. But here you can see they're blitzing away at the Lord. Pagu's not making sure trying to get in. But here comes the heavy spin. Noel gets caught out as well. And I think he tried to steal it. Oh, wait, he did steal it away. Pelimetronio did. Oh, who stole it?
It was Noel only with the execution line from the Thorn Rose. He stole it, and now they're going to push through the mid as well.
Oh, but here he goes for the way of the dragon, able to find the play, but Pagu goes into with a combo, and now Lito with the Infernal Pursuit, catching them one at a time. Pelimetronio comes into the fray as well, and now looking to take them down, but here comes the Raging Slash from Orange Bob, as Wicked says, you know what, you got yourself the Lord, I'm kind of pissed off, and I want to get the kills, and he gets ham with them, still able to survive thanks to this lifesteal from the Haas's Claw.
Yeah, I mean, that's again a smart micro play out there because the burn would have taken him down. So he just got that one basic attack landed in on the purple buff to try and sustain through all of that. But they're going to lose the towers out there in mid as well as the top and the bottom. That means they will lose their own jungle access now. Having a quick look at the itemization, Sky Piercer, Glowing Wand for the Kimi, now moving into the concentrated energy. But on the other side, you already have a Radiant Armor, you already have a Blade Armor for Lito. He's gonna soak up every single piece of damage on his face, and 7,500 gold already for the Moscow. The Holy Trinity is up. Now he's gonna focus down onto the Wind of Nature as well. Once he completes that, he will go ham in front of Wicked.
That Trinity is absolutely important, right? That Trinity is the one that will dish out the damage for them. So Pelimetronio has it. He doesn't need stacks. He doesn't need kills. Moskov just needs one bit of an opening, and then it's going to be disaster on the other side. Will the clutch come through? That's the important part, because here Noel is level 14 while Macaron is 12, but the gold lane exchange the same as here. Fury of the Phoenix comes out for a play. Wicked, man, he is moving fast. At this point, SOD connects, but he does not want to extend the threat.
I'll have to say, how MINEVRA defended their tier 3 into that mid lane, that was absolutely crucial. It still is standing up, and that is one of the big reasons why right now we did not see Pelmetronio completely go into the fight with his SOD. He realized that he's going to be in tower and everyone is just ready for him to spawn there. And also his team just decided to go back and retreat. Wicked has picked up his own wind of nature. Now that can tilt the favor of this entire fight in his favor, because again, there's a lot of physical damage on the other side. Noel, Pelmetronio, Laito. That's going to be a big thing. But yeah, I'm looking at Tiso. But the thing is, he's got no backup right now for himself.
He has no backup, but if you look at it, they're trying to make a sandwich out of MINEVRA at this point. It's looking like it's going to be a sandwich play. They're trying to scout out Pelmetronio because he's going to be the target, and they find him, and now they're trying to make his own sandwich. Purified a little too early and makes the use of the SOD to get on harm's way, but you can see Tiso comes in, no heavy spin presence, so Macron's going to be the target, but Laito gets caught out and is able to flicker out of harm's way.
Yeah, it's a lot of major spells baited out on the other side. A flicker from Laito. Pelmetronio has not got the Purify for the next 69 seconds. And every single thing is up for MINEVRA Fury. That's a big macro win now.
Pelmetronio gets his hands on the Wind of Nature as well at the same time. Noel able to make it out of harm's way. This time they understand that they don't want him around to be a threat to the Retribution. That Thorn Rose has a lot of base damage, so able to get it. But here they go for it with that Way of the Dragon and able to get that kill with the Raging Slash. Will he make the outplay the 2v1? Wind of Nature comes out as well. And this could be the opening that they're looking for the Fist Break Fist Crack combo. But the Fury of the Phoenix catches one as Pagu is able to get the kill onto Pelmetronio. Lord is marching down the bot side. Wicked knows that the rest of Entity were offside and is smashing their way through one at a time now.
That was an absolutely brilliant play coming in, to be honest. And this is the strength of Lapu Lapu. Orange, Bob, he just did a phenomenal job in that 1v2. Almost catching both of them, though. He only fell because of the Fury of the Phoenix out there. But they still have enough to maybe go for this defense, but they'll be down to their inhibitors now. Entity are struggling and they're on the back foot.
Yeah, Wicked now going one at a time. Gets himself that inhibitor. Lord is still standing with about 20,000 HP. No minions means they cannot push, but you can see on the top side, Noel garnering the attention of the rest of MINEVRA Fury, and now they have to back away because they do not have any sort of minion waves. And again, Tiso is always threatening the back line with a Flicker Way of the Dragon, Flicker Jeet Kundo combo. But this Cho, yes, he's been moving fast. He's been absorbing a lot of damage. He's trying to get out, of difficult positions. But in terms of playmaking, he's been underwhelming, hasn't he?
I was about to say the exact same thing. He can't seem to make a set for his own team now. And one of the big reasons is... Hold on.
Speaking of set, you can see the Fury of the Phoenix comes out. Oh my god, Rescue T has a lot of damage. He gets his kill on the Tiso. But Wicked, 1v1 against the Assassin. It's actually a 1v5. He purifies. He gets his hands on Laito. And now looking at Pelmetronio. Yes, you have a Wind of Nature, but that's why you have a Kimmy. It's magic damage. They can't do anything. But look at Pagu. He goes in forward. He wants to base Crystal. And now they get their hands on the mid lane inhibitor at the same time. Wicked is so low, but swaps his item for an immortality. And now gets his HP back up thanks to the Hostage Claws. The base crystal is left exposed, and the damage is dished out way too much. He survived thanks to that, but there it is. The Phantom Execution gets a shutdown, and now they're able to get Wicked, and that means the rest of MINEVRA Fury will back away, respecting the damage that Team Entity can bring in.
Holy smokes, it took every single thing in them to try and defend with that one. They threw everything they had except for the kitchen sink out there. And man, oh man, Wicked, the play that he made up in that top lane near the inhibitor, absolutely mind-blowing. To be honest, you would never really expect a Bruno to dash in that far forward though, but Noel forcing out the heavy spins.
Yeah, you can see he already baited out, but at the same time, Orange Bob goes in for the Land Shaker, and he's trying to use the Raging Slash to get Pelmetronio, and he gets it indeed. And now they find another. Noel goes down. Bladus QT is absolutely pulling his weight, making up for what happened in game number 1 with this Kimmy. 5-1-4. You talk about Wicked, you talk about Sensei, but Flatus QT, yes, he's a substitute, but my God, he's putting on a display. And look at Wicked. He understands that Tiso trying to cut the wave, but making sure that doesn't happen. And now Pagu with a concealed play coming through Macaron, making sure the rest have to be separated. And you can see the land shake of the Ravens fighter coming out, but it's all to no avail as MINEVRA Fury will take game number 2.
It's going to be a long You do not want to miss out on any of the action. Plus, we'll have the grand finals tomorrow as well, which will be a best of 7. So all of that you're going to catch on Surge Europe itself. So make sure you subscribe and do not go anywhere right now, as we'll be moving on to the draft of game number 3 itself. And this time, ET are going to be on the blue side. So there's a bit of a change now. MINEVRA Fury finally getting on that red end. That means now you've got a certain priority bans that you'll have to do, while ET can actually try and dictate the draft for themselves. That's why we're already seeing a Mathilda ban coming in. I'm probably thinking they want to try and prioritize, again, something along the lines of a Kimi or maybe a Zushin. Or if they get their hands on, since it's been banned out, I was about to say Yisenshin, but yeah, that's not happening.
Definitely not, but hey, they got to make sure somebody takes out the Kimi, otherwise it's going to be a problem again.
Yeah, I personally think so. Vlados was absolutely beast on that one. So you don't really want to give it on the other side too. But it's a 1-1 ban right now. Farsa, Uranus, Baxia. All 3 of them opened up. I think so. 2 out of those 3 are going to be banned out. I'm probably leaning a bit more towards the Baxia and the Uranus. You do not want the other side to pick it up instantly. Plus, we have seen MINEVRA Fury enjoying the Uranus into the jungle. And it's a very solid flex pick. Can also go into that EXP lane if you want to and becomes super annoying.
It could be. You know what I want to see? I want to see Uranus, man. It's been a long time since.
Get out of here. Get out of here. I already saw the gameplay for Uranus yesterday, and as soon as you mention it, it's been banned out. Just stop saying these names now, man. You're just predicting the bans unintentionally.
Farsa gonna be banned out here. Has to be.
Only if you say you want to see it.
No, if only if I say what?
If only you say that, yeah, I want to see a Farsa, that's when ET will actually ban it.
Nah, I think it's gonna be a Farsa ban. Like Farsa, Zetian. These are one of the 2 heroes. Oh wait, let's not forget Baxia. These are the 3 heroes. 2 out of these 3 get banned. 2 out of these 3 get banned.
Hey yo, you just stole the words that I said a few minutes ago, man. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you that. I do that too to you as well, so it's fine. But I'm also expecting a Baxia to be banned out right now, though. It's been pretty solid in terms of the meta itself, in terms of the jungle. You can also try and play the Baxia in the roam position too, which we actually saw yesterday in the quarterfinals. You predicted the Farsa, my man. Yes, I know you're going to be on cloud 9 right now. Baxia. I'm absolutely fine. You can also stand up and give yourself a pose that you want to. We'd eventually see if you're actually wearing the full suit or not.
Hey man, I am wearing a full suit. Why would I not be?
Let's see.
No, but I see Baxia. See, I told you Baxia is the ban, and I told you Kimi's gonna. It's written. I have the crystal ball. Foveus
Stop
Lancelot.
leaking the script. Stop leaking the script.
Foveus Lancelot.
All right. Let's see. The Ascension is banned out, so to be honest, those are 2 of the best picks in this scenario. We've already seen Macaron liking to play Lancelot, but I'm not quite sure if you'd really want to lean into it right away. Maybe they can pick up a Zushin. I think so. I like the idea of Hayabusa. I was thinking the same thing as well, but again, then Zushin could be let through. Yeah, it's a Foveus Zushin. I was thinking in the similar way that maybe they're going to pick the Zushin now, but ET have the opportunity to either choose between a Hayabusa or they can choose a Lancelot. Either one of them would work really well. We have seen Zushin facing a bit of problem, at least against the Haya.
You know what? I just noticed it's not. Why I thought it wouldn't be a Jushin is just because Sensei's not playing, but hey, Sensei's back for this game. So we're not just talking about any Jushin here. We're talking about Jushin coming in from Sensei. So it's gonna be super tough indeed. And on the other side, you're looking for a Haya, yes, but I think it's a slight too early. Maybe go for the Lapu Lapu and then maybe double down on a Moskov this early on if you want to. Otherwise, get yourself a jungler that could move around, maybe in the form of Fredrin, but it's not really greatest against the Jushin. So I think a Lapu Lapu here is valid.
Or a Gatot?
Oh, Gatot. Oh, wait, they go for the EXP and Roam at the same time. A
Yeah,
Gatot Kacha and a Glue. Just because of the fact that a Jushin's already picked up in the mid lane and they can't go for the Faramis.
absolutely. I like the idea as well coming in from their side. Picking up that clue early on too in the first phase and understanding that both of them could be banned out potentially in the next banning phase too. I'm absolutely enjoying this kind of draft though, but now it falls down onto MIF. All right, they actually prioritize the Granger early on for Wicked now. Or it is interesting, but I'm not quite sure if I'm a big fan of it, considering there's a Gatot Kacha on this other side, but more than that, a Glue on the other end. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be struggling out there at least. And there's also an opportunity of an Erithiel being picked up. So I'm pretty sure MINEVRA are going to ban Erithiel and a Moscow.
Man, they gotta ban a Iritel and a Moskov. But knowing them, they'll be like, hey, we got Wicked. But hey, they still ban out the Iritel. Moskov's gonna be next. The Zetian doesn't really need to be banned out because they both know the Kimi as well as the Jushins are gonna go in the mid lane. So Zetian's taken out completely. I think Rome over here. Oh wait, Xborg. I mean, he does provide a lot of true damage. It kind of makes sense, and I think it's probably a hard read. I think it's a hard read as well because if they went for an Xborg with an Angela, I think this Jushin is basically unkillable.
Probably. Could be possible. They already have a pretty solid front line in terms of the Phobias as well, right? So, you know, that's going to be one big thing. And yeah, you can actually pick up the utility roam in this scenario. So you can have that extra bit of mobility as well. Plus, you've got a pretty solid, beefy front line now up in front of you. Yeah, I'm absolutely down for it. So it's a pretty nice ban onto that Xbox too. And it's a Hayabusa ban out coming in from MINEVRA. I like the idea because, yes, we were discussing the potential picks for ET. Hayabusa, I preferred it more than a Lancelot because Pagu can still try and outmaneuver a Lancelot. But once Hayabusa is on her with the Oogie Shadow Kill, Pagu is absolutely done for, or rather, Sensei would absolutely be done for that. So I like the idea though. Now the Badang has been banned out, so no pretty solid volley front line up as well. You don't really have that. It's going to fall down onto them. There's still a possibility of an Arlet being picked up for Pagu.
I was gonna say Pagu is definitely an Arlot connoisseur. So Arlot in the roam position makes so much of a difference, especially when they're going against like such tanky lineups and especially Igloo, where you can just vengeance your way in completely. It's like it's unstoppable at that point. So I could still see a Arlot come through. I just hope it's not an Akai again, just because an Akai in the jungle, I wouldn't be a fan of it. But here they definitely need someone that can melt people down. They need some sort of true damage. They get themselves a Hilda. So trying to fight early game aggression with a little bit more early game aggression, trying to invade the jungle. But we saw this tried in game number 1. It didn't work out in their favor. Entity know how to play around.
Exactly. They also had the glow in that game too. But I think so the only difference in that case is the fact that there was Vlados who was playing onto that Zushin. He was a bit uncomfortable on that though. This time it's going to be Sensei. And we already saw, right? Matilda, you have that. You really like the early game. So Pagu was able to give that leeway to Sensei to play around with. And on this Hilda, he's going to do the exact same thing. Just in a bit of a different way where he will be a bit more aggressive and he'll be opening the map up for Sensei. So he can keep on going in with his annoying pokes too. But all right, it's a Lancelot being picked up. Pelmetronio goes in for the Melissa. That's an interesting one out there. I understand not really willing to pick up Moscow in this case, but I was actually hoping for either a Bruno or maybe if you feel a lot comfortable, then you could have gone for a Claude.
Let me tell you of a history lesson. Melissa Pelmetronio's, I think it's his favorite
signature.
Hero. Yeah, signature pick. It's a signature pick. So, and also knowing that there could be an assassin coming in from the other side, they pick it up. I think it's a hard read as well from their lineup. They understood that they're going to go against an assassin, and here a Joy being picked up as well. So Macaron not going to have the greatest of times when he's going to go up against his Melissa. And again, Wicked is not going to have a good time in the laning phase as well. So I really like the lineup of the Entity where they have a good front to back composition, double marksman, a really good scaling. But in terms of early game, not the strongest. and they really need Noel to show up in the early game on this Lancelot.
I agree, and to be honest, to pair everything up with that, I think so. Noel is pretty solid on those retributions as well. Now, considering the lineup on the other side, you don't have any hard stoppage for that Lancelot, so he will have a free reign too. And I think so that can enable him to have an advantage in the early game itself. I'm still leaning a bit more towards the lineup of Entity right now, just because of the fact that this Joy has not really been that successful. And considering how there's a Kimmy on the other side, there's also a Gutout on the other side with the taunt. You already have the glue on that EXP lane to try and stop you out there. Yeah, and with the Melissa out there with the go away, I'm not quite sure how Macaron is going to find success onto that one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a hard time. They're not going to be able to find anything for that one, but hey, it's a BO3 at this point, and it feels like it's going to be a tough one if Wicked doesn't get a 1-up on Pelimetroni early on. Oh, Laito actually steals that crab away.
That's a big one out there. Just making sure that he's got that extra bit of EXP as well for his team. And in the meantime, Sensei, he was the one who was having a bit of damage out, but still was not really able to clear the minion wave without the help of Pagu. Now that means Pagu needs to stay with Sensei to try and get that river control, maintain that river control. And it's constantly going to be that poke, just being out of that small range. So I think so. Apart from that EXP lane matchup, this is one of my next worst or rather hated matchup in mid lane. The Zushin against a Kimmy. They're both just going to stay out of each other's range and they're going to try and trade blows and no one's going to catch anyone.
Hey, that's how it works, man. You want to stay out of each and everyone's range so that you can make things happen for your own team. And that's the way the cookie crumbles, because Enzo over here, he knows what his team needs, and so does Sensei. But I just hope Sensei had a good bit of a warm-up before he came in, because if he's just coming in, I think Entity will be looking to put the pressure on him and just try and take this game by storm.
Highly possible as well. You could already see their aggressive stance out here. Constantly in that mid lane though, but a good zone coming in from Sensei, making sure that he misses some minions.
Oh wait, you can see the Thorn Roars come through as well. Here comes the Infernal Pursuit. He's trying to go in. Orange Bob is able to get first blood onto Tiso as Pagu is traded by Laito as well. Noel seems to be going down. Thorn Roars to survive, he actually does! But no, Orange Bob comes into the fray, gets himself a double kill, flickers forward for that nonetheless, and here goes in deep again with that Infernal Pursuit, but gets taken down by Pelimetronio, traded, and now Macaron gets his hands on some turtle soup.
Finally, I did like the idea of Orange Bob out there going in, taking him down, committing the flicker as well to make sure that Macaron is actually going to get his hands on turtle freely. I love the idea out there, but still a 2-for-2 trade overall at the end, and I'd eventually say it would have gone in favor of ET, but MINEVRA Fury winning out on that early game right now for the first turtle rotation definitely has set a pace up for them now.
Definitely has set the pace up indeed at some way, shape, or form. Pagu, along with Tiso, look at them. They're just saying hello to each other, trying to control the river. So far, Entity have controlled, and here comes the electrifying beats from Tiso, but gets caught out in the taunt. Sensei with that Crimson Beacon, showing that he is able to and ready to engage at any given point when his team calls for it. Tiso right now, again, been dominating the river. MINEVRA Fury just cannot get their hands on it.
Yeah, but there's one big thing as well now. Entity, Pelimetronio has picked up the Corrosion Strike, and he's picked it up before Wicked could take away the Hunter Strike out there, right? So that's going to be a bit of a problem out there for him, as he will be a bit behind in farm, and he's going to be taking in a lot more poke now than what he'd actually love to. But the good thing is, he's already denied a couple of minions to Pelimetronio, so in terms of the EXP, he is lacking. And he's also trying to freeze the wave in his own favor. So he's winning in the macro game that has forced the rotation from mid down bottom.
The bot side is going to be the target. Of course, it's the goal lane indeed. Wicked versus Pelimetronio is the one that we want to see. AOG from Tiso to try and get out of harm's way. At this point, Traction Pulse to pull them back. And Enzo trying to shout the damage. But still, they're able to survive. They have enough. The Cuddles and Muddles not going to be able to do anything at this point.
But he still stole that Go Crab, and that's a big thing. You've still denied some more gold to Wicked now, and you're going to keep that advantage for yourself while the turtle spawns. Macaron is going to have that advantage, but I'm pretty sure Noel's going to go in.
Noel gets on top of Sensei with the Phantom Execution, tries to make it out, but Macaron gets himself another turtle. Yes, Joy has been kind of countered by The Gatocachas taunt, he's been countered by Pelemetronius go away. But still, you want this assassin to get as much ahead as possible because the damage is still damage.
Because eventually he can find a perfect timing to land into those team fights. You don't really need Joy to be the first entry for the team. He can wait, he can find a perfect timing for that flank, and then he can jump in. But right now, Orange, he needs to be the main opener for the team. He needs to try and open things up a bit more because Pagu is doing his own things on Hilda, and Sensei is kind of out in the open in his own world.
He is indeed. Oh, Noel gets caught in the Phantom Execution, trying to get on his way. That Lantern Flare pulled him back, and I think that is an opening slightly created for them on the bot side, and this should help them clear it out. But you can see Pelemetronio saying no. He does have enough damage, trying to move them out. He doesn't pick up the Inspire, went for the Flicker this time around, and I feel like that is debatable because you want Melissa to have slight bit of a power spike with that Inspire. Meanwhile, Orange Bob just having a day and just trying to make it out alive.
But considering the amount of crowd control on the other side, I think so. I'm down for that Flicker at this point. You also have the Zushin out up in front of you. Orange Bob, he's going to make sure that he jumps in with the S2 Flicker combination multiple times, and even go away is not going to help you sustain through that because it's a ranged ability. You will get tagged by it, and then he'll bonk on top of you as he's ignoring every CC out there then. So, yeah, I agree that it could have been a bit more debatable, but I myself would have probably gone in for that Flicker as well. Now he's already building into the Demon Hunter sword as well for his Holy Trinity as the second item.
Wicked has that Sky Piercer building to a BOD or a Malefic Roar. Not really sure at this point, but he has the damage indeed. Old Crimson Beacon already baited out. Cuddles and Muddles coming through. You can see Pagu trying to buy some time. Orange Bob goes in with the Infernal Pursuit. Already used the Astro Sai. Wicked trying to show the damage. Using the Death Sonata. Gets caught up in the threads and the needles coming in from Pelemetronio. Pagu again trying to create a separation. They're trying to fight for this neutral objective.
Yeah, but it's going to be taken down by Noel right now easily. But guess what? The glue is going to bring the Orange Bob back.
Oh, AOG trying to catch Pagu, but he has concealed to make it out of harm's way. Orange Bob trying to go in a little bit more with the Infernal Pursuit. Unstoppable. This guy just trying to go in deeper and deeper. Does not care what happens. He just wants a fight to the death.
Cuddles Muddles combination yet again from Pelemetronio, just out here to deal a bit more damage though. The only good thing that is working out right now for ET is the fact that they are not really losing that mid tower. They've lost the tier 1 on the top side, and that has resulted in a 700 to 800 gold lead for now for MINEVRA Fury, but it can be stolen away instantly anytime when they take away one tower off from the other side. And in terms of that gold lane matchup, Wicked's items are a bit more cheap as compared to Pelemetronio, but Pelemetronio is keeping up with him in terms of getting those power spikes. So I think so he's still going to have more impact in those fights as compared to the Granger in his hands. And that could be one of the crucial things, right? Because they've got 3 kills, and all of them have actually been in the hands of Orange.
I agree, and not just that. Granger is a hero that survives on Snowball, right? And Snowball means stacks on a Sky Piercer. The moment he doesn't get stacks on a Sky Piercer, that's basically one item down. It has almost non-existent damage, and if you do not have any sort of stacks in his Sky Piercer, this Granger is going to be underwhelming, just like how we saw Tiso being underwhelming in the previous game with his Cho. So now they're really trying to fight fire with fire, because I feel like Pelemetronio, if he's able to keep up with these expensive items that he has to purchase, man, it's looking dire for the side of MINEVRA Fury, because that Trinity is going to start hurting when it's up.
And now even Noel has picked up the Endless Battle. That means a bit more onto that true damage. The good thing is, Wicked is actually landing in those Death Sonatas. Enzo soaking up all 3 of them. Now, if he can keep on finding those kind of avenues and angles, I still feel that he will be doing a decent amount of damage, at least right now. And that basically gives them the control of the river as well. And he can constantly go in for those pokes. Does not really need anyone to give him the vision. Look at that. Tiso already being forced to recall right now. That means the priority in the Lord Pit is already in the hands of MINEVRA Fury.
Yeah, and I think Pelimetronia here really needs more than 3 items to hit a power spike, right? Because let's not forget, he doesn't have the Inspire. Yes, he can get the Holy Trinity, but he needs that Malefic Gun to add that penetration factor to him. Because look at the other side. Orange Bob, Fovey is super tanky. Hilda is super tanky. You have a Joy that definitely is going to be really mobile, probably not going to get caught out in that Cuddles and Muddles. But then you have the Jushin that gets a lot of shield with that Crimson Beacon. So you need not just 4, you probably need all 5. You need a full build for this Melissa to actually have some sort of impact unless you're snowballing with them. So Pelimetronia really has a lot of farming to do, and that's how you can see always moving towards the minion waves to get extra gold.
Yeah, and I like the idea as well as the team is giving them the opportunity right now. Sensei pushing a bit far forward.
Oh, Macron actually looks at Pelimetronia off position, tries to catch him off guard, but Lighto flickers forward, and you can see that's the first kill in his hands as Pelimetronia gets one, and he gets taken down by Pagu without having to go away. Noel tries to go in on top of Wicked, but Wicked uses the flicker to make it on harm's way as well. Orange Bob trying to survive in the thick of it. He gets taken down by Noel and the rest of Team Entity. And now Minerva Fury, with the numbers advantage not on their side, will have to back off and concede this Lord unless Wicked has a way to snipe it down.
Yeah, and Pagu is also trying to open things up for him, but there's always Enzo standing up in front of them as well. Noel, though, he's pretty low because of the Lord.
Oh, that's a jungler that you don't want being low, but here comes the rest of the cavalry for the side of Minerva Fury, and now having the damage is being dished out. Wicked left untouched. He does not have the, that's not a no passive, no energy. Noel tries to make it out of harm's way, and you can see the rest of Minerva Fury want to break loose and try and break them down. Noel super low, and so are the rest of Entity, but they make it out, and Wicked only gets a purple buff to trade.
How the heck did everyone survive on the side of ET? That is a big, big play. But Tiso, he's A-okay. He's A-okay. He's fine absolutely right now. But yeah, looking at the itemization coming in from both of these sides, some big items now. The anti-cure is being completed as well by Lighto, so he's going to be taking a decent amount of blows now from Wicked before getting low and dangerously low, who already is now going in for that Sea Halberd for that extra bit of damage too, and getting that anti-region on the other side. I think so that's a pretty solid item power spike for Wicked, but I personally feel that he's already reached his maximum power spike level. Now he's just going to scale a bit more down. The same thing could be said for Macaron as well on this Joy. They have cleared the wave, but as we are transitioning already in towards this later stages of the game, Enzo and Pelimetronia, this double marksman setup is just going to burst through the front line of Pagu and Orange.
Man, it's looking difficult right now, especially for the side of Minerva Fury, because Wicked is starting to play a little more aggressive than usual. And why? Because he wants stacks on the Sky Piercer as a Granger, and that might be a slight bit of a mistake, an overextension that could turn things around, and they need to capitalize on that Team Entity. And that's why you can see they're doing as much pressure as they can on the opposite side. Again, Wicked playing more aggressive than usual, gets caught out, he gets taken down, and this is what I was talking about. And now the rest of them have to back off because they have no form of damage. As you can see, Team Entity are being the aggressors, looking to take away the tier 2 on the top side, while Macaron's trying to get a clear on that with the electrifying beats, goes on top of them. Tiso still hanging on with a lot of HP, and the damage coming out from their side is way too much.
Look at his positioning, Lighto. He's going to run away as well back to safety, though. Almost pulling another pick onto Macaron. He did not really jump towards his own team. He wanted to jump towards Macaron to try and stun him down and immobilize him to get that pick. But a lovely play coming in from ET. And they're also getting their major power spikes now. The Malefic gun being picked up from Melissa. 9.6k gold up in total. Wicked. Yeah, he's gonna be safe. As of now, he's gonna be safe out there.
For it.
True. So, and that's one important utility too, right before the Lord, because it's going to march up in the next 20 seconds. And I don't think so they're going to have any major control in terms of the river as well, considering they've already reached their item power spike. And I'm going to double down on the point that you mentioned, Kronos, that Wicked having no stacks on the Sky Piercer means that this Granger is going to remain absent in the next few team fights because he does not have that execution. And right now, he's just so off position.
Yeah, he definitely is. Again, it's just the fact that he is starved out by the rest of Team Entity. He needs gold, he needs kills, because that Sky Piercer is just not helping his case right now. And at this point, I think I think it's looking dire for Minerva Fury because the Team Entity are playing this so very well calculated, and I think they're doing well, thriving in this calculated chaos.
The double marksman just working out phenomenally for them. Look at that. Enzo single-handedly zoning everyone on the other side. And they understand if Wicked is not there, they will lack a maximum damage source. Sensei is there, yes, but he is the utility support, as for you can say, the constant crowd control on the other side to try and get you those knockups. The damage is being dealt by Wicked. Macaron on this Joy is also struggling, and I think so. It's not again Macaron's issue, it's more of a Joy issue where you're not tanky enough to sustain through the burst, and you have to get into the backline. You will have to get into those uncharted territories of the opponent's side, so you will have to soak up a lot of damage. None of that can happen with a Joy, so he's also struggling in terms of getting a perfect timing out there. The Lord is going to march down from the bottom side, and all the lanes are being managed perfectly.
Man, this is not just perfectly managed waves or perfect macro. This is just absolutely decimating the opposition. Just perfect execution coming through from their side. Starting slow, ramping up the pace when you need it, and absolutely going loose in terms of team fights as they are right now. And the first one to fall is Orange Bob, and this double marksman composition again is proving wonders as Wicked is clearing out the wave, but the rest of Minerva Fury Macaron cannot do the same because there is no possible way for them to be protected. As you can see, Pelamatronia has the extended range. Here comes another set of minion waves. They're trying to focus on the base crystal, but the minions are not being present, and that has might as well found them the opportunity. They have traded Orange Bob for Enzo, but that has been all because Noel is trying to go in. Wicked trying to dish out the damage. No kills yet. Got himself the Wind of Nature. Again, the 1v1 not working out in his favor, and seems like Pelamatronia has put on a display of how to be a top goal laner along with the rest of Team Entity as they're looking to end this game and taking the base crystal, and now one at a time they will take the kills as well, and Team Entity make it 2-1.
300%. And I think so. I'm going to say that Fredrin again would have been a bit more on the receiving end. At the same time, Alpha could have potentially been a pick for your side because you need someone to burst through that tanky front line as well in the form of glue. You get a bit of an AoE as well with your Alpha charge. So I think so. You can close in that gap as well to try and reach Kimmy in those situations, or at least force the Kimmy to try and utilize some skills to go on other places, not really just constantly poking Orange out there on that Phobius. Few other things that could have worked out, but could have, would have, should have. We're going to leave that all behind right now, as this is potentially the last chance for MINEVRA Fury to try and pull themselves back up, ladies and gentlemen. It is game number 4 now. Things are getting fired up. We're getting excited out here. The Gadot Kacha being the first ban as MINEVRA move back to the blue side.
Yeah, they get themselves the blue side again, and I think might be a difference maker. So far, blue side has not been good today, right? So far, blue side has not been the winning side, just because of the fact that first game Minerva Fury was blue side, Entity won. Second game they were on the red, I think they won, and third game now Entity ended up being blue side. They were the ones who won. So Minerva Fury not looking so good on the blue side, just because of the fact that blue side just not been working after the first series. So here we're looking at Boxia being banned out, Agatha Kacha taken off the table. 1-1 definitely has to go, has to be respected at the hands of Wicked. Farsa is a hero that looks to be taken out here unless Sensei wants to pick it up for himself. No, he doesn't. Farsa is off the table. A Uranus coming out from the side of Team Entity. First pick probably going to be that Kimmy. And then on the other side, maybe a Phobius with Noel's been playing the Lancelot well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we went for a Phobius Lancelot again, unless they went for a Jushin on this side and then they get a Phobius and Kimmy.
You may never know, man. So most of that thing is going to be left out there for the surprises for the next few phases too. But to be honest, this entire draft is kind of reminding me again back of this game number 1 and how things went in that specific game, right? The Gadot Kacha as the first ban, then the Boxia, then as well as the Farsa. We were discussing right in that game number 1 how MINEVRA could have picked up the Gadot for themselves for the third pick, but since they themselves banned it out, they did not really have that leeway as well. So I think so it's kind of falling into the same category right now for ET though. Again, that Mathilda being banned out, the 1-1 being banned out. I think so they can try and prioritize the Zushin if they really want to, but nah, they're going to stick back to the Uranus. They don't really want Macaron to have that advantage onto that one pick for himself. I kind of like the idea of how it is going in. So I'll have to see that first pick now. I'm pretty sure that they're going to either lock in the Phobius or they're going to lock in the Zushin. It could still be a Yi Sun Shin though. It has made its way through.
Oh, wait, Yi Sun Shin's made his way through because of the Gafta Kacha being banned. You're right. This could just completely turn the tides. Like, a Yi Sun Shin first pick gotta come through. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you cannot let this hero go through, man. 46 bans. Sheesh. That is almost 100%. That's almost 100%.
I'm absolutely down for it. I absolutely love it. The Yi Sun Shin locked in instantly, but that also gives the Zushin pick on the other side, Phobius pick on the other side as well. You can try and pair it up with the Badang too, but they're going to lock in the Kimi as well as the Lancelot. Now, Entity, they really want to go for the comfort. They know Enzo has been winning against Sensei in the mid lane matchup, and if it's not winning against that lane, he's making sure that he's at least going, 50-50. He's not really letting Sensei take control. So they're going to fall back onto the same plan and keep the Lancelot to steal the neutral objectives away rather than landing their blows onto Macaron on the Yi Sun Shin. But I'll have to say, dude, it's going to look pretty bleak if Macaron keeps on farming the way how he has farmed till now in the previous few games.
Hey, but with the Yi Sun Shin, it's a hero that you definitely want to farm up really fast, right? Yi Sun Shin's a farm hero. One of my favorite hero in the game. Yi Sun Shin is a hero that needs to be farmed up really fast, and you want to get at least 2 levels advantage. It's similar to a Nolan's win condition, right? You want to get 2 levels advantage and try and get ahead as much as possible. And yes, he's an assassin, but he's also a marksman. That's why he's lethal in the late game at the same time. So pairing up with someone that can create space for him, someone that can poke the opposition out, that's where he shines, and that's what Minerva Fury are doing. You get the poke as well as the space in the form of the Zetian and the Badang. So this is being set up for success. Macaron is going to be the primary carry. Wicked is probably going to be leaned into a secondary carry. And that's something Team Entity really need to find out quick. Otherwise, they'll be focusing on Wicked the entire time. But it was actually just a Wicked just taking the stage. Sorry, Macaron.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Yeah, it was Macaron again stealing the entire game from everyone else out there. But Wicked also had his own moments even in those games too. So this double marksman setup now that they're going to go with, it could be pretty deadly. Now to counter that, Enzo is locked in the Phobius. He's probably going to run on Vengeance this time around instead of a Flicker. Maybe. Again, maybe. It's not 100% surety out there though, but I like the idea of a Kalia ban. You don't really want to give a pick-off potential on the other side, also giving a bit of heal. So it's a good idea. And if they're going in that direction, they might as well want to ban out the Cho. But considering Tisso's Cho in one of the previous game was not really that, overwhelming. Rather, it was an underwhelming one. Yeah, I see that reaction out there, man. I think so the same. Maybe they're going to let it through as well in this draft. But I like the ban from ET, Lapu Lapu, Karot Kacha, rather the glue, making sure that the Phobius is not going to have a lot of problems out there in that EXP lane. That kind of makes those options a little more difficult for MINEVRA Fury now, because they don't really have either one of them. I think a bit of an unconventional pick here, but maybe they can go for a CC.
No, Minerva Fury is not unconventional. I think the CC definitely makes sense. 100% it does, just because of the fact that you can counter the Phobius in the lane, and you counter the Phobius in the lane, you get on top of the Kimi with a curtain call, so it definitely works out in their favor. So I feel like CC definitely is a great shout. You get enough poke down as well for the Yi Sun Shin to come and finish. Yeah, you're right. I think the CC is a great pick in the side of Minerva Fury. Just got to see how they're going to lock it down with the marksman. They take out the R-Lot, again, preventing any sort of lockdown that could come in from the other side. So Team Entity really need to start looking out for that CC here.
Really, I'm looking forward as well for both of them, to be very honest now, to try and prioritize that. But this time around, again, you probably want to lock in your gold laner at this point. Erythiel, one of the best options out there, can counter every other gold lane pick that might eventually follow after that. So that could very well be a pick in this scenario, but we've seen how they like to keep Elmetronio's pick for the very last one, right? So maybe they can lock in a roamer, but what roam would actually work in this scenario? Now that's going to be my big question. Do you think you want to go in with? I think so. That could work. Yeah.
Hilda, Khalid, don't forget they played a Khalid as well. They want that extra bit of aggression coming through on their side. So I think Khalid or a Hilda would work well. Oh, guess what? They say no. We go for the Irithel, making sure that Irithel doesn't cross over to the other side.
I like this idea. I absolutely love how they're eventually trying to go in for this scenario itself. And on the other end, now you got to try and pick your poison up, right? It's Irithiel, and you have an opportunity to try and go for a Granger maybe, or you want to lock in your more comfort. You can try and pick the Moskov, but I don't really feel a Moscow would be the best pick in this scenario, considering he'll be outranged by everyone, but they still lock in, and it's an Esmeralda pick for the last one.
Esmeralda. I think they're hard reading into something of Hilda in the Rome position. That's why they're gonna go for the Esmeralda, which sounds really good because I think we both predicted the Hilda as well at the same time. So Esmeralda here is a good pick in my opinion. But again, you're really lacking somewhere on the damage, right? It's just gotta be the fact that Esmeraldas need the one to be creating the space. And now ET really questioning, are they going to go for a Hilda because it's against an Esmeralda? But hey, Khalid is the next option, and they've made Khalid work before.
I'm pretty sure that we might possibly see a Khalid being picked up in this scenario. And to be honest, that will work really well. Again, Moscow is going to be outranged by everyone on the other side. So he's not going to have a fun time. Plus, you can always surprise everyone on that end with your Flicker Raging Sandstorm combinations as well. And again, the Crescent Scimitar also deals a pretty decent amount of damage to you. But maybe they can try and go for something else too. Maybe since the other side really wants to dive on you, you can probably want to prioritize the Tigreal out there. It's going to be disrupted a bit considering the amount of ultimates, or rather the skills there are on the other end. So that might not really be the way to go. Or else it's a Jawhead pick.
Ooh, so this is what I was talking about. Some of these teams do not like pickoffs, right? But then again, like every time I talk about pickoff and ET together, I'm thinking about Tiso. Like, is it really going to work out? They're really relying a lot on the early game from this Jawhead. But then again, they have a double marksman composition on their side, so they might just be able to get away with it. But to give the other team the benefit of the doubt, they have a double marksman on the other side as well.
Exactly my point. It's literally a 4 marksman setup right now from both of these teams, considering we've got the Moscow Vrithiel, Yisun Shin, as well as the Kimi out there now. But it's going to be pretty interesting, Kronos, as we probably move for potentially the last time in the Land of Dawn right now. If ET wins this one, they close the series out to 3-1 rather. But if MINEVRA Fury win this, they're going to force a game number 5, which we really want to see. Now, this is a new matchup up in mid. Sensei on the Zetian, while Enzo is going to play on that Kimi. So Zetian is going to have advantage.
Yeah, they got to get some advantage on their side. I think Zetian is the one that's looking to lead the charge for that one with the extended bit of range. And I feel like Team Entity here, with the help of this Kimi, might have a lot more DPS than the opposition would like.
It's highly possible as well now, and to be honest, they would really want to try and sustain through all of that, but Enzo, lucky out there to be alive down there in the bottom side. I don't think so Orange's going to be that lucky though.
Yeah, I think over here, Orange Bob might get taken down. And yes, he does. And that's first blood in the hands of Noel. But here, Tiso walks into a Death Brush with a Phoenix Descent coming through as well. Sensei dishing out the damage. Pagu here looking to get the stun on him. And there it is after using the Mountain Shocker as well. Now might go for a little bit more on the bot side. Macaron is moving like a machine, like what a Yisun Shin wants. Missing out on the gold crap, on the EXP crap there, however. But at this point, feels like Macaron with the rest of MINEVRA Fury need to start moving like an absolute unit. And now it needs to work out in their favor. So here they go in with the Thorn Rose, and Noel with the rest of Team Entity. Focus on the neutral objective, have the space that they need, but here comes MINEVRA Fury trying to poke them down. Over the Fury of the Phoenix, casting them off guard as well. Falling Star Mode to the backline. Enzo gets taken down, and here with the throw coming in from the ejector, they're looking for more, but Enzo, after he's down, Pelemetroni on top gets taken out 1v1 as Macaron is melted down to the back line, and Orange Bob just dished out so much damage with Frost Moon Shield, looking to take down Noel as well, but Tiso ejectors him out and makes sure his teammate survives.
That's such a big ejector out there from Tiso. I'll have to say, man, he saved not one, but rather two out there. And now Orange seems to be in trouble, but he's still trying to dash all the way away, but he will be taken down. Enzo, picture perfect play out there, but look at the top side.
Yeah, the top side already. Pelemetronio got taken down by Wicked, and that's a Moskov that we were talking about. He doesn't want to get any advantage, but you can see here again with Purify coming in from Enzo, able to survive a slight bit of HP with the unstoppable force. Tiso going in. Macaron, hey, that was almost a death wish right there.
Absolutely fine right now, but look at the bottom side again. Lighto seems to be surviving out there on thin HP as Orange wants to chase him down, but I think so he should be okay. He should be A-okay and maybe survive out there. But looking at this early game, you know, Kronos, unlike the previous few games, this one is just so aggressive, so back and forth, as both of these teams know the importance of this early to mid game transition, because then that means the mid to late game will be in your favor unless you make that mistake. And both of them have got the snowball composition.
They both have a I would say slight bit of a snowball composition coming in from both sides, but they also have late game insurance, right? That's what's the most important part. And they also have a mid game power spike. So I think it's important for them. So I feel like this is going to be crucial. Wicked, however, seems like he's having he's not having a bad time in the goal lane, given the fact that he's going against someone that has more range compared to him. But here, Fury of the Phoenix comes through as well, and now they're looking to make a play, but there it is. Tiso, after throwing back Orange Bob, will still survive. Everyone still survives.
The Purify coming in from Orange, that was a crucial one out here. And to be very honest, it's actually been pretty annoying to the other side to deal with, because he's constantly dealing a decent amount of damage. Now, it falls down to how quickly can those dominance eyes come up? How quickly can Enzo make the glowing wand? That's going to be the main key to try and shut down this Esmeralda, because the amount of shield he's going to get, it's absolutely insane. Oh, they're looking for invade.
No, they're trying to. Pagu gets almost pulled back with attraction, but look at Tiso on the other side, just trying to find an opening. He goes for the unstoppable force. Orange Bob, I'm not sure if that's the target that they want to be going for, but here comes Lighto trying to make a sandwich out of them, but MINEVRA Fury's Orange Bob trying to survive as much as he can, goes in, gets caught in the Astra's Eye, flickers forward. Tiso trying to get that play, but look at him, he's still surviving with the help of the Frostmoon Shield. He's not going down. This might be an outplay. Esu reconnecting. Will Wicked make his way through? Yes, he does. Lighto goes through as well, trying to get an Inferno Pursuit out, but here with attraction supposed to get pulled back, and Pelemetronio popped in the Purify, but not able to survive. He goes down, and so does Tiso. They engaged and over-engaged a lot more. Lighto seems to be next on the chopping block, but with the help of everything and the rest of his team, MINEVRA Fury able to get that kill.
My goodness, it took literally everything out of them to finally take him down though, but that big shutdown gold has now provided the glowing wand on the other side.
Oh, Wicked trying to survive, but you can see Retribution coming in from Macaron to make sure Enzo will have to back out and making his presence felt. The threat of the Decisive Shin is still not online.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful coming in from the side of the Decisive Shin in the hands of Macaron. He's always been on top with that, and for now he's got 100% win rate with that hero. He's only lost, or rather, the Decisive Shin right now in the playoffs has only been defeated once. And apart from that, absolutely none other time. And I still remember that one defeat was also not because the Decisive Shin was outfarmed, but rather they made a small mistake and then eventually threw the game away. That was one of the reasons. The Decisive Shin still was having the priority, and right now, Macaron is the one who started the third turtle.
Oh, and the team fight breaks down. You can see the turtle is going to be there as well, and he goes into the Infernal Pursuit. Light, though, able to survive, and so is Wicked, but Wicked is the target. He gets taken down. Pagu gets pulled back by the Astra's Eye, and he goes down as well. Two traded for the price of none, and not just that, they also get their hands on the turtle.
Big play out here being made now. Wicked being caught as the first one was the biggest problem. And look at Pelmetronio. This time he's decided to go for a Wind Talker first. Look at Orange.
Oh man, I told you this Esmeralda is a great hero. I love this hero, but just doesn't have the damage output that you need in this current meta. And that's where you can see they're slightly lacking. If Esmeralda had a little bit more damage, this fight would have been turned around. And that's why at this point they need Wicked to be online as quick as possible. But Tiso's not letting him breathe whatsoever. And Pelmetronio with a Queen, the force of the Queen, able to pick up that kill.
It's absolutely being done now. I personally feel that it might be a 3-1. Considering Wicked has been shut down twice already on the small score. But look at mid.
Fury of the Phoenix to try and put back Tiso, and they're able to get the kill onto Macaron. 2-1-2, gets his hands on the Hunter Strike as well, so he should be moving a little more faster. Has a slight bit of extra penetration coming through. However, they don't have the lead. They don't have the map control that they would like. And Orange Bob, along with Pagu, really have a lot of work on them to try and create the space that they need for themselves.
And it's just been getting so much more difficult right now because again, on the other side as well, it is a double marksman. It is a scaling composition. But if we're really talking about which one's going to scale harder into the late game, I'd still say MINEVRA Fury will have the advantage. They've got the Esmeralda, already picking up the Blade Armor as well early on, and now it's going to move forward towards either the Oracle or the Radiant Armor. I'm really going to prefer the latter one in this case, considering there's Enzo on the other side too. But you also need a bit of a dominance ice as well, right? Otherwise, the Phobius is just going to have his time of life out here. Already prioritizing the Blade Armor as well as the Radiant Armor as the first two items. He's just trying to sustain through all of the damage though. But I still feel Wicked and Macaron could combine their damage to take him down right now. There's no dominance ice on either of the sides.
Yeah, Pagu as well, trying to create the space, and so is Sensei with Orange Bob, but you can see at the same time, they go in. Fury of the Phoenix push them in play. Oh, knock-up coming in from the Lord as well, and now Noel taking down low. Thornrose trying to make it out, but Macaron gets caught on the Astra side. Traceless to make it out of harm's way. Wicked in the back line, went into the SOD, gets caught out, and now he's down. No marksman present. Macaron has the turtle ship, trying to get the Lord. Will he be able to do it? Goes in with the Traceless, tries to get the retribution. He gets the turtle, but sacrifices his life. A double kill in the hands of Lighto. 6-1-3 on a Phobius. This guy is dangerous on this hero. Do not give it in his hands.
Was 3-1-2 when he got shut down for the first time. And then again has now got that killing spree and another assist onto his name. But I'd still have to say a big retribution by Macaron. Stealing away that Lord, making sure that his team will have some more time to sustain through that burst that's coming in from the other side. Pelmetronio already farming up. He's got the Hearthclaw, Wind Talker, and the main power spike of Berserker's Fury. And this guy is now cooking up the Malefic gun. That extra bit of range is going to be so much problematic now. And a dominant size as the first item prioritized by Tiso. That means, yeah, the Moscow is not really going to have an easy time out here. And Macaron on this Yi Sun-Shin, this is probably the first time that I'm saying this, Kronos. But he is struggling in terms of farm. Level 15 on Noel on this Lancelot already.
Yeah, he definitely is at this point. You want to see Attraction Pulse pulling back Pagu as well. Orange Bob going into the Falling Star Moon. It's taken everything just to make sure one of them survive. Tiso, the concealed play, looking to take somebody down. Not able to find a target. And again, you're right, Macaron not being able to get the farm that he needs is going to be crucial. But one good thing about the Yi Sun-Shin is that no matter what happens, he will always scale into the late game. As long as he can hit level 15, as long as they can buy enough time for him, they are going to start hurting. And Yi Sun-Shin has been hurting a lot in this current meta, man. And I feel like they just need time. Will Orange Bob and Pagu find the space and give them enough time to survive to try and be able to scale up to that point?
There's only one possibility that you need right now, and that is for this Badang to survive, but he's getting caught.
Oh, yes, he does. And you can see at the same time, falling Star Moon from Orange Bob, but he's able to survive indeed. But Orange Bob taken out low, has to pop the Purify to survive. Tiso had the right idea, went for the Unstoppable Force, but the Fist Crack coming through means that he's CC immune, not knowing that, I don't know, it's just Tiso's under pressure, went for the Ejector even then, knowing that it's not going to work out onto Pagu. Feel like this, the length of the games is getting to the head of Tiso, right? It's not working out in his favor. You can see again, it goes for the ejector onto Pagu. They're really looking to burst him down. And now the Fist Crack trying to catch him off guard, but the Falling Star mode coming in place as Orange Bob does not have the Purify to survive this time. Double kill in the hands of Pelimetronio.
Sensei actually had the Fury of the Phoenix. Still did not decide to use that. I think so that could have saved Esmeralda, but now they're going to have to hold on to this push that's coming in right in front of them.
Seems like they will be able to. The clear is there, although the tier 2 is barely hanging by a thread. Now the Lord is going to be the next target. And I feel like 12 minutes, 45 seconds, about 13 minutes into the game, they're blitzing this Lord so they can get a push down really quick. But then the Lord is going to be up in 13-11, and that's enough time for the side of Team Entity to set it up for themselves and set up for a victory run.
And to be honest, I'll have to say though, in the meantime, MINEVRA Fury have been doing a good job in terms of managing the far lane. Look at that. The minions are pushing in because again the Ascension pushed up, but they're going for engage.
Fury of the Phoenix just started off, and here comes the turtle ship as well at the same time. They go through and now they find one and they trade one nonetheless. But this is a good trade for the side of Team Entity as they get the roamer for the EXP lane. But at the same time, for Minerva Fury, any gold in their pocket is still gold in their pocket as they're almost down by 5k gold lead. And this is not looking good for Minerva Fury because this final push seems like could be a final push, could be fatal for their side.
And considering now Pelimetronio also has the Wind of Nature and Noel has made the Blade of Despair. Yeah, I mean, good luck trying to defend through all of that. Wicked has picked up his own Malefic gun, so he's going to have that extra range, but he's going to be choked upon now.
Yeah, he is, and you can see at the same time, Wicked is able to get the clear on the Lord, but here comes Light though, man. But the Fury of the Phoenix is trying to get them, rather, that wasn't even Fury of the Phoenix, it was, oh wait, you know what, sometimes I get confused. Is it the Fury of the Phoenix, is it a Mount Shocker? They need to find a way to try and make the separation, but here, Noel, able to help clear out the top side. The pressure is still on the side of Minerva Fury. If Team Entity make it right, make the right play, it could be all over from Minerva Fury.
I'll just say yes to both now. I think so it was both the Fury of the Phoenix as well as the Mountain Shocker out there though. But yes, I agree. They need to find something else to try and stop Entity right now. They're absolutely on cloud 9. 2-1-8 on Enzo. Insane play. Noel 104, yes, but he's constantly getting those neutral objectives. And Pelimetronio has been on fire on this Erethiel. A full build already coming in now. And on the other side, Wicked still trying to find that one last item. He needs that Wind of Nature to try and out-sustain the Erethiel and try and deal some more damage out there. While on the other side, Sensei, I think so he's trying to pick up some bit of a damage out here for themselves too. He's got that fleeting time in, but he needs a Divine Glaive right now to try and burst through Lito, who has got the Radiant Armor, already built up the Dominant Size, also the Blade Armor. That means he's really tanky right now. And he's the one who's actually enabling Pelimetronio to have his own fun time out there, along with Enzo.
Yes, they are, but Pelimetronio, Enzo, talking about all that, Lito has been creating so much. Oh wait, they go for the flay. Fury of the Phoenix comes out, Falling Stormwind catching them in place as well, with the turtle ship being done. And now one after another, they're getting the kills. But guess what? Wicked was in the thick of it, and Enzo saw that coming a mile away with the help of the traction pulse, able to get that kill. And now Noel with a puncture, trying to go through. They traded Wicked for Lito. That is not good news for Minerva Fury because they need their gold laner to try and contest the Lord. And now without their main damage dealer, without the one that they're relying on the late game, it's looking like Team Entity might just take this Lord. But Orange Bob and Pagu preventing that from happening.
Really want to try and brute force their way right now. They want to make sure that this Lord does not go on the other side. So Orange Bob's position needs to be important. But look at Tiso. He's hiding in the bush. He's just so ready for the ejector instantly to try and throw someone out there. as the Lord Dance was continuing till now, but everyone is back on board. Litho coming back into the action, and they are ready to take this down.
There it is. The Mountain Shocker trying to real position, but at the same time, Fury of the Phoenix comes out. They lose out on the Lord. Turtle Ship already being used, and Tiso, unstoppable force onto Pagu to try and bait out that fist crack. Not there yet. However, it is looking like MINEVRA Fury have conceded the Lord, and 6k goal lead on the side of Team Entity means that this could be the final push. And if this is the final push, MINEVRA Fury will not make it to the grand finals, and it will be Team Entity versus Memento Mori.
It seems to be the case right now, my man, because just the way how it's been going on right now, this Lord is going to be difficult to defend against. Already an enhanced one out here, and everyone else having their own damage. Good thing is that Wicked has now picked up his own Wind of Nature. So that's going to help him probably stay in those fights a bit more longer, considering Litho has also got the physical damage. But Enzo has picked the same item up now, so he's going to keep on knocking their doors too. It falls down onto Orange as to how good of a setup can he give his own team.
Mount Shocker already used, and so is the Turtle Ship. The Lord is on the top side. The tower barely hanging by a thread gets taken down instantly, and now the traction pole already used. Batista goes into the flicker play, and understanding that they pop in the Purify, and one after the other they fall down. Litho trades his item for a Winder Crown, but Tiso, having the immortality, is able to survive. They cleared off the Lord, and they're able to clear out the bot side wave as well. Litho with the Astro Sight, creating an opening, and now here comes Pagu with the rest of MINEVRA Fury with a concealed play as they catch them off guard, and Wicked is trying to go ham one at a time, but he didn't think of it. He actually makes it out alive. He get two, looking for the third. Litho tried to make it out play, but Wicked got his own, and as they were there at the edge of defeat, they are pulling off miracles indeed. MINEVRA Fury survive for a few more minutes and hang on to dear life.
It is highly possible that they can potentially force an end as well right now, as they've got a bit chunky wave out there in mid lane and no threat on any of those side lanes as well. What a lovely play coming in, and what a hold. They're pushing forward.
They are trying to push forward indeed. Noel gets pushed back, and right now the puncture makes it out of harm's way. Wicked gets his hands on the tier 2. All tier 2s are down except for the one left on the top side. If that's taken as well, and a little bit pressure on an inhibitor, seems like MINEVRA Fury would have got what they came for, but now understanding they cannot go in any further. 30 seconds to the Lord, and we're talking 20 minutes here, Scared Yet. And I feel like 20 minutes is going to be hard for any team to let go of a Lord. And looking at the goal lead, after about 3 to 4k, the goal lead is not going to matter anymore.
It's all gonna fall down to how good of those item swaps can you get eventually over towards the end, and that's what we'll be looking forward as well in the next few minutes too. So yeah, I mean, quick fingers, yeah, that's gonna help you out right now. But next 4 seconds, up in Lord, the pit is for now controlled by MINEVRA Fury. Entity, they're on the back foot now, and this is what I mentioned, right? If it goes to late game, that's MINEVRA Fury's domination.
Oh, they get the Fury of the Phoenix used as well. Tiso already used the Unstoppable Force, but the Astro Side, oh my goodness, they melt down Orange Bob, and that's -1 for them on their side, but Wicked wants to continue the split push, and you can see Macro and the rest of MINEVRA Fury are forcing the equation on towards Team Entity right now. They understand that they need to get the advantages. They've already lost out on the EXP laner, trying to buy some time for the rest of their team as they're trying to get the pressure on into the waves, but Tiso and Pelametronio looking at Wicked right now on the bot side. They're looking to take that trade. They're looking to get that kill. Understanding that it is not going to happen. Wicked knows his role right now. He is going to be the damage dealer in these team fights, and seems like MINEVRA Fury bought themselves enough seconds for Orange Bob to make it back alive just in time for this Lord.
I think so. It's going to be 5 seconds a bit too late right now, because they've lost all control of this. And also towards the bottom side, Wicked is now going to try and push, so his SOD needs to connect. If he misses this game is done for.
Oh, Fury of the Phoenix to try and cast him in place, but you're right, 5 seconds too late as they get themselves that Lord, and SOD did connect, but it was blocked by the rest of Team Entity, and now they make it back, and seems like it's another Lord that they have to defend. 21 minutes in, it is a luminous Lord. It is the highest level of Lord that you have in the game, and this is going to get tankier by the second, and more so if it's grouped up and escorted by the rest of the team.
Big one indeed. This time, it's going to be so difficult to try and defend against us. Everyone's going to be pushing in together. Everyone has got a full house except of just the Badang right now, building onto that last item. And this time, it's going to be bonks coming in from Lighter. You've got to play defense smart. Super difficult for MINEVRA, but Entity can close it out right here, right now.
They need to close it out, rather. Every time they're not closing it out, they're giving more of an opportunity for MINEVRA Fury to come back alive. Tiso goes in for the flicker play, but doesn't know that as the Purify Fury of the Phoenix pops in. As you can see, they're trying to survive, but the damage coming in from MINEVRA Fury's online. They get themselves a killing spree. The lore is almost taken down, and now again, they've made a blunder. And off that blunder, MINEVRA Fury looking to clap back if they can. However, Team Entity will go back and do not want to bite the bullet. Every single time their backs are against the wall, they're on the edge of defeat. MINEVRA Fury, off the back of Wicked, are pulling off miracles.
I'm also gonna give credit to Sensei at that point. The positioning was just so crucial. And the man, he picked up Divine Glaive a while ago. And that's also helping him go for that extra bit of penetration onto Tiso as well as Laito. Those tanky players are not gonna tank as much as you would expect them to, and then Wicked popping off at the right time. A proper team effort after such a long time from MINEVRA. It seemed like they're kinda getting a bit fatigued out here in this game number 4, but seems like they want to pull themselves back up. They want to pull their socks up right now as they finally make the map a bit more blue. Steal that area away. The goal lead is not going to matter. It's 68,000 to 67,000 on the other side. So it's all down to those item swaps. A couple of immortalities coming in. One for Noel, one for Pelmetronio. That means Pelmetronio might have either sold his boots. He might not have the Dragon Spear. Or maybe I think so it's still going to keep on to this Wind Talker as well as the Wind of Nature right now. But Macaron,
he's cut off position. He used the Mountain Shocker to reveal theirs, but you can see, Tiso, he took the Astra's Eye as well. Cyclone Eye, rather, to try and make it there. You can see, but at the same time, they go through. The lore is already being secured by Noel. And the rest of Team Entity are trying to make it out, but Wicked is trying to go for the backdoor play. SOD trying to connect right now, and he gets it onto Lighto or Tiso. Tiso goes down. It's not looking good for the side of Team Entity, but they did get themselves a Lord. And now we'll be looking to push down the mid lane and try to end it as fast as possible.
I don't think so that could happen because the Lord is now spawning in. It's already 11 up on clock. Tiso is out for the next half a minute or a quarter of a minute now. That's going to be so much problem for MINEVRA Fury, or rather ET, to deal with. Either they can try and brute force in a 4v5, or they can still let go of this Lord and maybe force the next one in the next 100 seconds. I think so. MINEVRA Fury can still defend it. Entity, but they're trying to they're actually trying to brute force.
Yeah, they're trying to brute force their way and try 4v5. That's not some pressure. That's just some opening that they need. But you can see Wicked, man. Every second this late into the game, it feels immense, right? Every second feels like a lot of pressure. Every second feels like an eternity. And this guy is making every second count. He connects with the SOD. Pagu goes for the conceal play. Look at him. Very well calculated. He's not moving like what players do usually. He is just, you know, moving that joystick a little bit at a time. He's tapping those screens a little bit at a time, knowing that if he commits fully, his team will have to follow up. And I think the first time in 25-minute game, MINEVRA Fury have a goal lead, and it's 113. At this point, the goal lead doesn't even matter.
It's all gonna fall down to those item swaps. Everyone has got a full build now. Even the roamers of your team can go for those item swaps. And as we talk about those builds already, yeah, there's Pagu who's trying to complete the anti-Cuirass right now. Again, he's probably swapped one item off of his list right now. And that's the only reason why he's still out there with half an item. The Immortalities passives are up as well on the other side. Noel has picked one up for himself too. Already got the Brute Force Breastplate with the War Axe Endless Battle. This man can burst through Wicked. He can burst through Macaron. But he's just not getting that timing. 4 more seconds. You already have the Fury of the Phoenix out there though, but it's Macaron who's actually trying to gain control of the Lord River.
They are trying to, and they know that on the other side, Wicked is going to have a split play. That's why you can see they're taking the lower half of the Lord Brush rather than the top side. And Wicked understanding that they could come through. The conceal play is there. Team Entity are going through. Traction Pulse comes back as well. Orange Bob caught in the midst of no land. And you can see Purifier survive, but he seems like he has the immortality. Buys himself the winner. Crowd with a shutdown onto Enzo after using Fury of the Phoenix. And that is down and out. That is a DPS damage dealer. Wind of Nature come through as well after Wicked used the SOD. He's still trying to survive. They get themselves a Lord. And now they're going to go for the clapback. Noel is down and out as well. Macaron dishing out the damage. Lighto is down and out. 3 down for the side of Team Entity. And Minerva Fury, in the blink of an eye, have flipped the script. Now we're looking at taking to game number 5. It's about a minute that the rest of Team Entity will make it back, but that is more than enough for them to try and take the end as the Lord is marching down the bot lane.
It takes 30 seconds for Lord to knock onto the doors, and now it's gonna take less than 15. The mid is gonna barge in as well. Only 2 to defend. Tisso and Pelmetronia. Good luck surviving through that.
They are good luck indeed. They need all of it, but at this point, Tiso just trying to survive himself, trying to pull any sort of minions that he can. The Lord has already come through, and this is a Luminous Lord. Pelmetronia has all the damage onto him, and the Fury of the Phoenix is not helping his case as they get themselves. They're looking for a wipeout. They almost got it, but what they got is the base crystal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game number 5.
It's about time we're jumping into the draft itself. It's ET on the blue side this time. MINEVRA Fury are taking on the red side.
And you know what, Scare, in the end, we've seen this happen in the previous game, but right now it's going to be even more crucial, where every mistake is punishable. Every move that is good is going to be rewarded. And of course, we are almost at the ultimate part of the competition. We are at the penultimate part of the competition, which is the semifinals. Indeed, on the second one. And again, as you mentioned, Minerva Fury on the red side. And I think they definitely want to get their hands on that Yi Sun Shin again. But will they be able to? Will they get the Kimmy? Again, it comes down to what they're willing to let go and what they're willing to trade.
At this point, my question is, does Noel like to play on the Yi Sun Shin? Because if he does, then there's absolutely no way MINEVRA Fury would let it through this drop. But if he does not, then they might as well decide to. But guess what? They'll have to ban it out now. It's not going in on the other side. Mathilda being banned out, 1-1 being banned out. You've got the Farsa, Zushin, Zatian up. You also have the Kimmy available now. Farsa has been taken care of. There should be a Baxia ban. It should not go out up front. Otherwise, ET will have a smooth rolling into their jungle.
I agree, and it's going to be badass as well for the by the time they enter the rolling phase. So yes, you see it. They take out the roller, the badass roller in Baxia, and now it's going to be Team Entity who's going to pick up a Kimmy, and then that's on the other side is going to be a Phoveus, along with probably a Lancelot or maybe a Jushin, unless they get a Jushin here and then go with a Phoveus and the Kimmy on the other side. So we're back to that game again, aren't we? It's the game of chicken. Who's going to give away the Kimmy? Who's going to pick up the Jushin?
Yeah, I don't think so. It's going to be more of a Zushin now, because Sensei was able to lane pretty well against the Enzo Skimmy with his own Zatian. I think so. It's going to be another question where ET, they probably might decide to take the Phoveus for themselves in that lane, or maybe lock something along the similar lines. Guess what? I'm going to throw all of that prediction out of the window. It's still a Kimmy being first pick as well. Now that means on the other side, you've got the Lancelot available. It was working out for you pretty well previously, though. There's been a few struggles here and there. But I think so. It's still a pretty solid pick, considering you've got a Kimmy on the other side and a Zatian to lock things up as well, to force this Kimmy in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think they should really break from the shackles of having this Phoveus slash, Zetian or Zushin being picked up. Just just roll the dice here. We want to see a team roll the dice. Who's it gonna be? Because Kimmy, of course, was gonna go. What are they gonna respond with? Are they really gonna pick up the Phoveus again? Phoveus is good. It just absolutely works wonders, but they need to find a different answer at the same time. They need to find a way to try and shut them down. And yes, they roll the dice indeed. And I'm liking this. It's a Lapu in the EXP lane and a Gato Gacha being picked up in the wrong position. They are revealing their cards. All right.
I'm down for it. I'm down for an absolute new thing out here, though. Garot Kache is a big question. It could have been a big question mark, but since the Lapo has been logged in, so you know that that's the roam and that's the EXP. it's kind of revealing the draft a little bit though. So I have to say it might become easy for ET to draft against this entire lineup now, but they have that opportunity as well to try and lock in that Fovius, lock in that Lancelot as well if they want to. But here's the thing: you don't know what mage, marksman, and the jungle will be on the other side. So locking in one early might also mean that it can bite you in the back in the second drafting phase for the other end. And to be very honest, I'm not going to be surprised to see some absolutely new mage being picked up, something along the lines of a Kadita. We have seen that work even in the quarterfinals too, but it's not going to be a Fovius. It's a glue pick right now. Again, a question mark as to where this pick is going to go. I like the flex.
The glue is usually slotted the EXP lane, right? Before it was possible the roam position, I think over here still it is just very, far-fetched to say a little bit of a flex, but it still kind of is a flex. But if you ask me, it's probably solidified. It's going to be the EXP lane. However, here I was going to end up saying, like, I'd like to see the Faramis come up just because they have a really divey composition on the side of Minerva Fury, which would work out in their favor. But seems like they don't want to go for that. They still go for the Jushin, trying to get the advantage as much as possible to Sensei and create an opening that could help them out. Right, they're looking to play a little bit more of extended team fights or try and garner the attention of Noel from this Lancelot onto him directly. And now they understand that Pelemetronio is going to start leaning into his comfort picks, one being that Melissa. So that's taken off. And I wouldn't be surprised if Team Entity just said, you know what, let's ban out the Beatrix because we know how good Wicked is on that one.
I think so they can, but I'm pretty sure they might not remember that right now, considering how things have been going and how Wicked also decided to pull up a Moscow, has decided to pull up the Granger as well. So I think so maybe they're going to let that one through. It is interesting to see, though, that the Erithiel is also being led through in this route. And I do like this idea because it's MINEVRA's Fury's first pick now in the second phase. So they can prioritize the Erithiel. Has got a good range advantage against every other marksman now apart from 1-1 as well. If anything, I think so Erithiel can counter 1-1 really well too if you're going to run it with a sprint. And also that Kimi... Counter. Exactly. And also the Kimi is now going to be struggling as well once that is picked up. ET should recognize that. I'm expecting that one. No, they will ban away the Moscow. I think Wicked is going to lean on to that one. And I think it's fair. In the previous game, Wicked showed his outplay all the way back in the base.
Yeah, but that leaves open the Erithiel, and if you pick up the Erithiel, a Granger's picked up on the other side. So I mean, given this point, I'd rather go for the Erithiel than the Granger, but I don't know. Is Wicked looking for a redemption? This has got to be a goal lane pick, right? Unless they are like, you know what, screw it, let's see what you got. I can still have a Bruno in my arsenal. I can still go for him. So why not pick up the Bruno at the same time? So they might just be like, let's go with a jungler here. A Fredrin would really be good. But again, against the glue is something you don't want to pick.
I absolutely want a higher at this point. I mean, Kimi on the other end, Lancelot on the other end. Yeah, you will not really win all the 1v1s. It did not work, man. We both saw Macaron try to pull it off. It just does not have enough damage. So they're gonna stick back to the basics. Exactly what we both predicted. It's gonna be an Erithiel pick locked in for Wicked instantly now. So you have the chances in your jungle pool too. What are the chances that they might actually lock in something like the Ling? Because hear me out now. They have the Lapu Lapu for the dive. They've got the Gatukacha as well for the dive. And Erithiel's going to enjoy his own time though. But it's a carry pick coming in. And it's going to be difficult to pull off. Straight up saying. But it's going to be fun to watch out for. And guess what? It is a Hayabusa for Macaron. I am so down for this draft though. I love it from both the sides.
I mean, it's not just the fact that a carry is being picked up, right? It's coming along with a jawhead. So they have the option to go for a pick-off composition. And that's the scary part. A carry on her own is pretty scary. But you pair it up with someone that can provide or feed you the kills, it's going to be absolutely devastating indeed. But Hayabusa on the other side means that you're going to see a Wind of Nature. You're going to see a Winter Crown. And before that happens, Macaron needs to scale. He doesn't have to scale. He needs to scale at this point. Otherwise, it's going to be dire straits for the side of Minerva Fury. However, they have all the momentum moving into the final game of the day. In this best of 5, we have gone the distance, and only one can make it to the grand finals. Is it going to be Entity, or is it going to be Minerva Fury? Time will tell, but momentum is going to be a crucial factor in this game.
Oh, right now they're stealing it away from Enzo instantly. Almost getting picked off out there as well, but he's still gonna have all of his minions as well. Pagu is just doing a phenomenal job right now along with Sensei. The rotation from both the junglers are going to be almost on the opposite end, but look at how fast Macaron is. Now this is considering Tisso is on that jawhead. He should provide that leeway and the leash to Noel, but it's not happening in that manner.
It definitely isn't, and I think it's thanks to the Jushin as well, right? They're able to create the separation, try and make sure Enzo doesn't get his farm. So he got a call from from Enzo saying that, hey man, I need your help here, and that means Noel's not gonna get the leash that he wanted. But here they get caught out. The taunt is coming through as well. Ejector to make sure they push back Pagu, but Noel, he's moving around. He's moving smooth like a criminal indeed. And even after that scare, you can see that Macaron is still slightly behind in EXP thanks to the pickup of that Lethal Wanderer from Noel.
Yeah, and also Noel was able to clear up all of his jungle as well after that Lethal Wanderer. It's just the Gargoyle remaining. Now since Macaron has picked up that Gargoyle, he'll eventually be scaling up. Now he can catch on to Kimmy.
Oh, they're trying to go for it as well. Ogi shadow kill, and that is first blood off camera for Macaron. And for those of you who didn't get how that happened, just rewind a little bit and take a look at the map as you should in your ranked games. But right now you can see they go for the bravest fighter, Noel, trying to make it out of harm's way with a Thorn Rose. Raging Slash comes through as well. Light, though, trying to catch on top of Orange Bob, but Macaron hacking away at the turtle. And seems like Minerva Fury will get their hands not on just the first blood, but also the first objective of the game.
And that's a big one as well. It's going to give a decent amount of EXP lead to Macaron and to the side of MINEVRA Fury. 133 gold advantage to Carry is not winning in that lane individually. You need support. But Wicked has got the Purify. It's like every individual lane for MINEVRA Fury is good. And their jungler just found the maximum impact by catching Enzo up in that mid lane.
Yeah, definitely the maximum impact of catching him off guard. And Enzo being a level down, a kill down, and here Macaron looking for more. He goes for the Ogi shadow kill on point as well, waiting for the puncture, waiting for the Phantom Execution, and waiting for the Thorn Rose to pop that ultimate to make it all happen. And guess what? It landed perfectly in his favor, but Lighto here goes for the split, tries to get on top of Orange Bob, but he dashes out of harm's way, and now Lighto's caught in no man's land, and here comes Macaron, but the traction pulse from Enzo is pulling them in place. He is left unchecked and untouched the entire time, and again, this is a mistake that Minerva Fury better made early than late, because now they have to realize that, hey, regardless of what happens, Enzo has to be our target.
Focusing down on him, picture perfect. Time and time again though, but in the previous one, now since Macaron has got the advantage onto this Lancelot, this means he can rotate fast onto the bottom side. Pelmetronio!
Oh, Pelmetronio looks like he's going to get caught out, and yes, he does. Ogi Shadow Kill comes through, but he's not taken out low enough. He's still able to survive. Meanwhile, on the top side, Noel is trying to make a rotation, but again, Orange Bob's a Lapu Lapu. You really want to gank him?
It's a bit of difficulty out there, but a double puncture setup from Noel, it's going to save his life out there. Down bottom again, Pelmetronio dodging that one shadow of Macaron means the couple of stacks that should have been on top of him, they were not there. Hence, the damage was just not enough. And if I'm not wrong, he's also completed the item, but look at mid!
Yeah, he's trying to go through. Lighto right now caught in the thick of it. Seems like he'll get taken down. Yes, indeed. That's one kill right now. Macaron gets pulled back by the ejector in the hands of Pelmetronio. That kill. AOG comes into the fray. And you can see that one kill gave a lot of confidence to the side of Team Entity. And now they're moving aggressive. They're moving ahead. And in the hands of Pelmetronio, that is looking lethal.
They can also take the turtle now without any problems. Or rather, I should not say without any problems, because there are three big problems standing up in front of Noel. Orange, Pagu, as well as Sensei. They're still holding it down though, but was the bottom side. Pelmetronio having his own time against Wicked. Pelmetronio is cautiously going in for those rotations. He's still taking the fight.
He flickers forward. He's able to get the 1v1. Meanwhile, in the turtle pit, they're able to get that sensei as well. So that's 2 kills in their pockets, and they're even up the kill score. And not only have they got control of the turtle pit, they've got the bot site control as well. So Wicked is not having a good time. He goes for the quad shadow. Macaron tries to get the turtle, but Noel just pausing for a bit, making sure that he waits for Macaron's cooldown to go away so he can pick it up for himself. Now seems like Team Entity, off of the back of that one single pick-off on the bot side, they're able to get the turtle, they're able to get the tower, they're able to get the goal lead, and even convert one more tower on the top side.
Macaron still trying to find a timing right now. He wants to jump on Noel.
Yeah, Phantom Execution comes out, and Lito being present didn't really help his case right there.
Yeah.
Now they're looking to get in, and they're moving like a unit, and Team Entity, again, have dominated the river. Conceal comes down.
At the bottom.
Ooh, Wicked. Gonna be the target. AOG comes through as well, trying to create the separation. Wicked looks like he's gonna get taken down. Yes, he does, but this time in the hands of Tiso, Orange Bob, and Pagu, a little late to the party, and ET are dictating the pace of this game.
It should not really have been in this way, considering Macaron won the early game. Erythel should win out the lane, but they're struggling so much just because of Tiso on this Jawhead. His ejectors have been so very good, and look at the damage that they've dealt. Tier 1 on top and bottom taken down, mid almost taken down. They've got the jungle access entirely for Macaron, and he's still level 9.
Oh, another ejector, but here comes the heavy crossbow with the Purify as well. Tisa's gonna be the target. He gets taken down in the hands of Wicked, and now with the split coming in from Lito, he's able to tank up a lot of those turret shots, and thanks to that, the rest of his team is able to survive. Wicked this time was almost going down, but able to survive and get a kill in his favor as well. So that's some good news on the side of Minerva Fury. Meanwhile, Macaron hacking away at the tier 1 in the mid lane means that the map has opened up a slight bit more. If they're able to get the top tier 1, it will be even better.
Yeah, but I think so it's going to be defended as well, and MINEVRA will have to respect the damage that's coming in from ET right now. Well, Metronio has been insane. Enzo as well, he's been having his own time, but look at Macaron. He's constantly trying to find one or the other person to try and go in for those engages, but he still needs 2 more levels so that his Yugi Shadow Kill has the maximum impact, as this another turtle will go for Entity. No difficulties out there, and he's also picked up the Sea Halberd right now. A couple of big items coming in for MINEVRA Fury, so they are getting ready for the next few fights, and they're not letting this goal lead increase more than 1,300. That has been a good play from them, regardless of how many turtles that they have lost.
Yes, it is indeed. And looking at the retribution that Noel has picked up, it's not the Flame Retribution. It is the Bloody Retribution. That means he's gonna, even though he's not gonna be in the team fight, slight bit of true damage is gonna be taken down to whoever uses it on. So that's some good news for them. Ideally, you'd like to go for Flame or, you know, Ice Retribution, but here opting to go for a Bloody Retribution just might be the slight bit of a difference maker between surviving on 8 HP and not. But here comes the Traction Pulse, pulling back Sensei. He uses the Purify and the Crimson Beacon to make it out of harm's way. Pagu being the front line and trying to block that, as Tiso doing the same for Pelemetronio, as Pelemetronio gets his hands on the tier 2. And this is a fast-paced game a little bit, because they're taking away towers one at a time, and it's all thanks to the presence of this Jawhead.
Yeah, Macaron right now, it's got to go back to safety. It's got the shadow available as well. Just wants a little bit of XP to get to that level 12. But that's exactly what he's not getting.
Oh my god, and not just that. Orange Bob didn't get any sort of room to work with. Tiso has been a monster on this Jawhead. Where have they been hiding this Jawhead pick? They should have just gone for it when we said we needed a pickoff, not the Cho you were playing, brother. Because right now, Pelemetronio is going to be the target. Seems like he might get taken out, but the ejector coming through. Pelemetronio still survives. He has the quad shadow, but here is Wicked. He has the damage. Enzo make it out of harm's way as Macaron gets burst down by Lito and Tiso. And that was a messy fight, but still Team Entity able to make it out alive and on top.
Tiso saving the life of Pelemetronio out there. The trust coming in between these players, absolutely immaculate. No retribution for Macaron as he's out right now. And look at the unstoppable force.
Oh yeah, you can see right now he goes in, but a little too deep with the Raging Slash coming through. Orange Bob went in deep as well, has to flicker out of harm's way. And Tiso still survives. even after everything was thrown at them. But one good part is the fact that he doesn't have his flicker available for this Lord push now, and that's going to be 100 seconds, and that's 100 seconds too many for Team Entity to give away.
And I agree onto that one, but there's one big thing, right? He's constantly been keeping the cooldown check of Purify onto Wicked and Sensei. They're trying to force it before any major fight, and then they're trying to push it forward. Because every single time that Purify has been up, Wicked has survived and his team has won the team fight. It's a very low kill scoring game. It's only 6-4 right now, but there's already a 5.2k goal lead for Entity, so it's going to be pretty difficult for MINEVRA Fury to try and defend against this. They're at least one item behind, and it's already a mid to late game transition, so one item behind means you're going to let that snowball through. Level 12 for Macaron only, and now we're going to hit in towards the mid.
Yeah, they are going to do that indeed. Tier 2s are already taken away. We're less than 12 minutes in, scared yet. The Lord is already down. Holy Defense is down as well. And seems like the top side's going to be the target. Tiso does not have his flicker, but threatens the ejector at this point. But MINEVRA Fury defend, and again, backs against the wall, less than 12 minutes into the game. This is not where they want to be after having momentum from the previous one. Seems like Team Entity just shook it off and said that, hey, they went ultra late game against us. We're not going to let it happen this time. 6.3k goal lead in their favor. They need to end and find an end angle quick if they want to make it to the grand finals. Otherwise, we know how stubborn MINEVRA Fury are.
This time it seems to be a problematic burst, Lighto.
Trying to go in. Crimson Beacon already baited out. Sensei, the creator, needs to create some opening for his team.
He absolutely does now. And to be honest, he's not really getting any kind of opportunity as well, because how quickly Tesso can actually pounce onto him. That Purify needs to be instant. He does not need to go into the air. He needs to try and survive out there up in the open. Having a quick look at the itemization, some big items being picked up by Wicked. He's got the Berserker's Fury, Windtalker, Hearthclaw, so he will deal a lot of damage. But there is a Wind of Nature on the other side in the hands of Pelmetronio. So he's not going to be scared of the Hayabusa or even Wicked on the Sirithiel. And that is a big thing to do right now. He's already 4 items in Chronos. And on the other side, Macaron only has 2. He is still cooking up his endless battle.
Not looking good, man. Not looking good if you are a fan of MINEVRA Fury. They were undefeated. They were undisputed. And now seems like they might be falling into the jaws of defeat at this point, because MINEVRA Fury are forced into a corner by Tiso and this Jawhead. No space given to them whatsoever. And now with a flicker being present, he goes for it, catches Orange Bob, and instantly gets melted down thanks to the help of his teammates. And now with a numbers advantage, they get themselves the turtle. But guess what? Ogi Shadow Kill onto Enzo. Enzo has a Wind of Nature himself, so that's 2 Wind of Natures on their side. It's not looking good. One already popped. They get themselves a Lord. MINEVRA Fury, again, will have to defend.
They know their absolute win condition. They don't care about Macaron. They don't care about Wicked. They do not care about Sensei. They know Orange is the guy they need to first deal with. And the big problem on this Lapu Lapu is, in his normal form, he is not as tanky. You need that ultimate form. You need that enhanced form. And only after that, you get that extra bit of defense and then landing in your skill 2. That's what helps you tank every single piece of damage. And they're bursting him down before he could do any of that. So Orange is having that struggle right now, and this Lord Push seems to be difficult.
Feels like this is a game that MINEVRA Fury are just not able to catch up with, because at this point you can see Noel's already level 15, Macaron still 14, Enzo 13, while Sensei is again behind by 1 level. But here they're trying to find the opening, and they did find it. Lighto gets burst down, Orange Bob going ahead, Land Chicken comes through, but the Traction Pulse pulls back Sensei. And again, every single time they're at the jaws of defeat, they find an opening. But here Noel says no, wants to get a little bit more. Thorn Rose to make it out after Pagu gets the taunt in. They lose out on the top inhibitor, and the Lord is already crashing on the bot side. The inhibitor on the bot side is down and out, and now the only lane and tower left standing is the mid inhibitor. 15 minutes in, and this is not where MINEVRA Fury were expecting themselves to be. 9k goal lead in the favor of Team Entity, and it's only a matter of time. If they play it clean and if they play it right, they will make it themselves to the grand final. But Minerva Fury have done it before. Will they do it again?
45,000 gold, 3,000 ahead of that 43k gold mark. That means they've got every single item that they need on all the players. The only few remaining are going to be the ones of the immortalities, maybe the winter crowns, or rather the item swaps. It's still 6,000 gold behind for MINEVRA Fury from that mark. So they're still struggling out of their 5th item. The only man who's actually having that is Wicked on this Erethiel. And he's also not going in for any kind of Wind of Nature. He's gone in for more Brute Force. He's literally going for a glass cannon right now, Kronos. All the eggs in one basket one more time. And this time it's Wicked. Sensei is trying to set things up for his team. Macaron is not really finding those kills. He's just lacking that one damage item, man. If only he had that one, he would have also taken down that Kimi even in the mid lane when the Lord was marching down on their inhibitors. Maybe they would have had those two inhibitors still standing up. That is not really happening right now, and Orange is getting deleted in an instant.
Yeah, Orange is getting deleted indeed. The point of this Lapu Lapu is to make sure he survives. He's able to withstand the damage that's coming through from the opposition and the team fight, but he's just not able to traction pulse used by Enzo. And you can see
Macaron,
Team Entity moving like a unit. Macaron's going to be the target. Tiso could have gone for the unstoppable force, choosing not to do so, as the Lord is going to be the target. And now they get themselves a tower on the bot side. Will they be able to do so? Oh, they're blitzing and melting down this Lord. He went in, but you can see the damage coming out from Pelmetroni is way too much. And seems like the Landshaker being used. Orange Bob did everything just to survive.
holy smokes, I want to have a look at the item of Orange Bob right now. Because we did see it from Pelmetroni. He's got every single thing in his tool. The Malefic Gun as well, giving that extra bit of range. It's lucky for Orange Bob to survive now, but it does not have the flicker for the Landshaker combination. And Noel has also picked up the Queen's Wings now. Extra bit of tankiness over towards that low HPs. And he'll also have that cooldown reduction too. He's going to try and go in through the puncture his way through. Maybe force Wicked to use up his Wind of Nature early on though, but he might get caught.
Yeah, you can see Orange Bob trying to create the separation. Ejector already onto Pagu. He goes with the Landshaker, trying to do some AOG mechanics, but you can see Pagu just made it out of harm's way. The Lord is already there. They clear out the mid lane minions. The bot side already crashing in. Less than 5,000 HP. The Lord is already melted down. And seems like it's going to be a clear defense coming in from Minerva Fury. But here's the next set of minion waves, and they need to find an opening. Pagu creating separation. Noel goes into the Phantom Execution. Thornrose coming through as well. Sensei with the Lantern Flare, just showing them their way out. This is not your way in. Not now. Not ever, says Minerva Fury. But still, again, the goal lead is way too much on the side of Team Entity, and they need to find some time to make it to that point, or at least take it past 20 minutes.
Here's the thing, they've already reached the 45,000 gold mark. That means their crucial items are up. The only couple of people who don't really have a lot of items, one is obviously Bobby, rather Orange, and the second one is Pagu. Apart from that, everyone else, they've got their main items up. Now, Warrex was picked up. Yeah, exactly. He's just absolutely insane right now with the full build and also the Wind Talker. He can probably take all of them down in a few seconds.
He needs like 3 seconds, man. He needs 3 seconds to melt down the rest of the opposition. And 3 seconds is not a lot, but every second in this game right now feels like an eternity. And if this eternity is been slowed down, if they can just slow down time, if there's anyone that can do that, it has to be Wicked on the side of Minerva Fury. They catch him off guard. Phantom Execution comes through. Ooh, that was close. That was really close.
Exactly, because you know that as soon as Tiso gets an opportunity, he's gonna ejector you into your death. The Purifies are up right now for Wicked and Sensei, and they need to keep them up for this next Lord fight. That's gonna be the most crucial fight out here. Main items now being picked up. Wicked was able to lock in the Great Dragon Spear. It's going to give him more mobility. Macaron has also locked in his Endless Battle now. So a full house build on both their carries. It's going to be very crucial for them to survive. Orange, oh my god, look at that unstoppable force.
Oh no, Macaron gets caught out and he gets melted down instantly, and this is not where Minerva Fury wanted to be. 50 seconds until he spawns, and if they blitz this Lord right, he might just be not on time. Seems like they're not able to melt it down, but that is enough. They got their opening, they have the wave pressure, and now they're looking to try and blitz it. 30 seconds, they're trying to call and force an end.
You can possibly do that as well. They've got the numbers advantage too, and no jungler on the other side.
Oh, they go in with the ejector onto Orange Bob, but Tiso makes a mistake with the unstoppable force, goes in a little too deep, and they didn't look back, but they needed to. And now you can see they get their hands on Tiso, and the rest of Entity will have to run away. Again, a blunder, a mistake made by Entity. This is not the first time. They've been doing this back-to-back in the previous game as well. Did it one more time, and seems like they're paying the price, just giving an opportunity to Minerva Fury every single time.
And they still want to try and brute force their way right now. I don't think so if that's the
Pagu.
right call, but still,
Pagu.
the Lord is healthy. And yes, I am looking at Pagu. He can set things up for his team.
He is looking to do that. Comes in from the backside. Pelimetronio is there. Orange Bob goes in as well with the Landshaker. Brave Spider looking to use the Raging Slash, but still able to survive. And there again, Sensei just showing them the way out with this Lantern Flare and Crimson Beacon. You cannot walk through. You shall not pass, is what he says.
Big play yet again. And it was all on the back of Orange. Finally, even though he was thrown out by Tiso, he flickered into safety and then used his ultimate as well to create a lot more gap for Tiso as he was in his unstoppable force. He could not stop really. I promise he was praying to stop. He wanted a tool to stop his ultimate midway because he went directly in the crystal. That one mistake perfectly punished by Minerva Fury. And guess what? Even though they're behind in that goal lead, it does not matter at this point. They've got their itemizations. It's only about those swaps that will be coming in from the side of ET. And considering they have been picked off one after the other for the past couple of minutes, I'm pretty sure that they will not have enough gold as well for themselves to go for those crucial item swaps. Specifically Tiso, as his immortality is down for the next 3 minutes on cooldown, and the Lord is going to spawn in the next 20 minutes. That is already a big win for MINEVRA.
Yeah, I agree. And given the fact that we are past the 60k gold point, every single hero right now will have their full builds. And that's going to be crucial just because of the fact that if you look at the lineup of Entity, they have a dual core. They have a double marksman lineup. So you shut one down, the other one is able to carry. And together they become the backbone of a lot of lineups. And this roster especially, because this double marksman lineup is proving to be the bane of the existence of anything that comes in its way. Apart from Minerva Fury, they've shut it down before. Can they do it again? It's the Lord. It's the unstoppable force. And now they're looking for a flicker play, and they go in with a Winter Crown. AOG comes through. Pelimetron is going to be the target. But in the back line, you can see Wicked dishing out the damage. He is left unchecked, and now they're trying to melt down the front lines. But Enzo coming through as well. Wicked caught in no man's land. Seems like he's going to get pulled back, and that's an immortality that's going to get popped right now. And he gets taken down, and it's a big shutdown coming through, and now the rest of Minerva Fury will have to concede this Lord one more time.
Massive play out, Sensei being caught as the first one, and then it was a very awkward positioning for the Erethiel. Wicked had absolutely no angle to deal any kind of damage, and he could not protect his own front line too. He was just caught out there. He's being diffed out right in that gold, and look at the itemization. Everyone having full build. This glue as well, picking up the Twilight armor again, has helped him so much to survive through those late moments as the Lord now marches through mid.
20 seconds too early for Minerva Fury than they would like. Wicked is not up right now. They're trying to force the equation, but you can see in the back line he goes with the Yogi Shadow Kill. Immortality's popped as well. AOG comes through, but they lose Orange Bob. Pagu's trying to buy some time. He shuts down Pelimetronio. This is the opening that they're looking for. Wicked is back in 1 second, but they're not able to do it. Team Entity, take away the game.